Well. It wasn't pretty. It made for some very tough viewing. It certainly wasn't comprehensive, but guess what, folks? India are now just one step away from defending their T20 World Cup title, which, by the way, will be a historic first. No team has ever done it, but boy, oh boy, I think it's fair to say this match was very tough to watch because, and I hate to say, I'll go to it in just a bit, it went exactly what I was expecting it to go, right? Not an easy pitch to bowl on. There is not a single Indian bowler whose economy figures were not double digits.
Yeah.
And it was quite some good batting, stubborn resistance from the English team. But in the end, they fell, 8 runs too short? 8 runs short, and India are through. So for those of you who are watching, having maybe a Ravi Shastri moment, 2018-19, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Breathe. The match is in the books, but 7 runs, the victory margin. This was a very, very, very close semi-final.
This semi-final may not have gotten over by now if it was for one right hit from England. You could have been seeing a super over at the moment. This match would probably not have been done. And this match has not been anything that we anticipated, anything that we had ever predicted. We didn't expect India to put the kind of total to begin with. Let's start from there. You were expecting a good total, maybe around 220, 210. If India had a very good day with the bat, you didn't expect them to go past 250. They do that, you're happy at the halfway stage, and you think that this is going to be one of the two things. Because of the nature of the wicket, you thought that England would also fancy themselves to go for the target, as they have, or you thought that in trying to go for such a huge target on the kind of occasion that it was today, that they'll crumble rather soon. Guess what? The former happens, and we all see a script that, as I said, none of us could have ever thought of writing. This is a script that's written itself, I would say. This is the kind of drama you cannot predict. This is the kind of action you crave for, but this is also the kind of match that you want to stay away from.
This is a match you'll best enjoy as a neutral. Like if this was England versus Australia, or South Africa versus Australia, South Africa versus New Zealand, I don't care. I'm watching this with a lot of fun. As an Indian fan, though, this was a roller coaster ride, particularly because, and this is worth noting, there were multiple times throughout the innings where England were actually ahead of what India were at the same stage of the innings, which in itself tells you how comfortably in touch they were. That for the most part, I think even when they had lost 3 wickets in the power play, they were still going at over 12 and over already. At the midway stage, they were going at 13 and over. That dipped a little bit, but they stayed within the 12, 13 mark consistently, which showed you that this was a pitch that had no demons in it. On the contrary, it was blessing pretty much everyone who actually bothered batting a bit. Yes, in the end, you needed a Jasprit Bumrah to make the difference. That was very much the difference maker, and we'll get to that pointer in just a bit. But it was not the kind of win that you'll enjoy now. But getting there was arduous because, again, you've played through 40 overs of absolute slogfest kind of batting. The bowlers have been absolute lambs to slaughter on this wicket. I feel a little sorry for them almost because, again, this is a match where you've seen 480 runs, 490 runs been conceded. Not a good day to be a bowler. I would not want to be a bowler in such
circumstances. And we're not talking about, by the way, ODI cricket. Remember, folks, this is T20 cricket we're talking about. Those kind of aggregates. There was a time you would kind of talk about those numbers in the 50 over format of the game. But here we are. This is 2026 edition of the T20 World Cup. So much has changed since that first edition. The game has evolved to an extent that now we're looking at these kind of aggregates in a game that lasts for just about 4 hours. Plenty to talk about, but let's try and talk first about the one thing as to how we feel as finalists this time. The last time India walked into the finals of the T20 World Cup, the opposition was the same. The result was the same. The venue was different.
No, the opposition wasn't the same, right?
You played England in the semi-final, didn't you?
Semi-final you're talking about? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So, but that time it was a one-sided contest. Today, anything but that. As a team that's entered into the finals, with the kind of game that you've had, how's that feeling like? Is it mixed? You want to be going with a confident mood, with with a confident setup, excitement in the air, etc., etc. You want to be feeling good about yourself. Perhaps you felt that in 24. How do you feel at the moment after this humdinger of a game that we've seen?
You feel relieved. You feel relieved that you survived it. You came out on the better side of a thriller. And you take the lessons from here and move forward. There's nothing else you can do. I know there'll be plenty of people who will be tempted to analyze. And of course, that's our job as well, to look at where it is that things went wrong. But I'm cutting every side of bowlers here. I'm not just talking about the Indian bowlers, even the English bowlers. I'm cutting them a fair bit of slack, whereby I'm practically looking at 10 and over as being acceptable. Considering how batter friendly the pitch was, this is not the kind of pitch I want to be bowling on, because again, by and large, there was no great shakes when it comes to bounce. It was sitting nicely, fairly zippy, so it wasn't really tough to bat on by any stretch of the imagination. Even the English batters, you look at it now, you're right. They were just one of those shots. Instead of
one
being
shot
a
away
catch,
from forcing a super over
yeah, instead of one of those shots being a catch, you could have it go over the boundary rope, and you could have actually been looking at a super over or potentially actually an England win, because it was really that close. It wasn't a case of this match being, let's say, decided at any point. The only time where it felt close to being decided was the 20th over, where you're like, okay, 30 runs needed, boss. It's probably not happening. You're one good ball away or two good balls away.
You have seen a final get decided in a very similar situation, very, very similar circumstances, and I'm just saying that it's not the unthinkable. It was in this very land that we saw 4 sixes being hit, and you thought that the match's done. You don't see 4 sixes in a World Cup final be hit and the championship be sealed. This time around, the prize was different. This time it was about a ticket to the championship final. But then you weren't really ruling that out, were you?
I couldn't. There was not one part of me that was ruling it out, because again, I kept thinking, okay, that 19th over, if there's a 4 here, then suddenly you're looking at the match very differently. If there's a 6 here, you're looking at it suddenly very differently. Because then at that point, it becomes, you have a clear set target, right? 3-4 boundaries. 3-4 boundaries and the match is yours. Simple as. Once a wicket fell, then you're like, okay, 30 runs, you need 2 good balls out of 6. And you're sorted. 2 balls, and when I say good balls, I don't even mean dot balls. They can go for 1s, 2s, hell, they can even go for 3. But at that point in time, it doesn't matter, because let's assume you get 6 runs off that, you need 24 or 4. Again, then 1 good ball away, you're sorted. It's really not this thing. But yeah, this is not a comfortable win. I think if I'm the Indian team, I look at this and go, I'm relieved that we got through. I'll give full credit to the opposition for coming out to play on a pitch that, to be fair, assisted stroke making. But I'm not going to look at this game and be like, there's a lot to learn. Because again, it's a bit like the New Zealand game as well. You'll take confidence from it, New Zealand, South Africa, but you know that every game is not going to play that way. Similarly, I look at this game and go, I don't think every game is going to play like this. Pressure of a final will be double that of a semi-final. Can you guarantee that any team will even come this close? I don't think so. So I'll look at it as it's a victory gotten, a close victory. I'll breathe easy now, because I couldn't breathe easy for 20 overs. For both those of you guys who always wonder what is it like being in our shoes, we had no idea where the match was going. So reports and everything else, whether it be for television, whether it be for digital, everything is on hold till the final over. It is not a nice feeling, because you've got to come down here and chat with you guys, but back end work also needs to be taken care of, and there is no clue. You're having to write alternatives and think, okay, what happens if England win? What happened if India win from here? It is just yikes.
Well, I've just picked up my phone and I just want to share with our family members, since you already mentioned it, Shane. At 10:44, I shared with Shane a couple of lines that we were working on a story, and at 10:44, I share those lines with him saying, okay, now India won. But remember, folks, at times you've got to be scripting for the other result as well. Thankfully, though, today there wasn't the need to turn to the other script. But my oh my, this is, just of course, it's going to sound like a bit of an exaggeration, but I think I've perhaps lost a couple of kgs watching this match. It was quite the roller coaster that you were talking about, Shane. But if I'm looking back at this match, I don't think this is the kind of match I want to turn to and dwell too much on. Now it's done. I'm perhaps just looking at this as a nightmare of sorts, a nightmare that I survived, a nightmare, just one of those things that's done with. There are plenty of those things you don't want to be looking in the rear view about. It looks like that to me. You don't want to be looking into the rear view as far as this match is concerned. Just go forward. Of course, there are learnings and there are plenty of talking points. In fact, if I'm looking at India's campaign and all the matches that India have played, we've done so many shows here, Shane. I don't think there's any other show that we've done which would have more talking points. I think there are, if you get into it, there are so many talking points to this match. And of course, we'll address a few of those. There are celebrations, as I can see on our parent channel India Today, that have been sparked as a result of India's win. But let's try and analytically see how is it that this game played out. A result, as I said, you don't want to be dwelling much into, but there were a few glaring concerns as well. But before we get into concerns, how about we all come together and say this once again? This is something that we realized in the 2024 T20 World Cup. This semi-final, hopefully we don't require a Jasprit Bumrah to perform the way that he's bailed us out today. But he's only bowler at the moment, Shane. You were talking about everyone registering an economy rate in double digits. There's only one who has managed to get an economy of
Hardik as well, but my god, 8.20 is what Jasprit Bumrah is going at.
Which is the best, by the way.
On this track?
Hardik Pandya is just the other bowler, and this is how phenomenal Jasprit Bumrah was. And you were looking at putting the brakes, and this, I believe, was the turning point as well in the match. We were all talking about how England were well and truly in the chase. In fact, there was a time when they had scored about 160 odd runs. They were a little ahead of India at that particular point. And you needed somebody to come and put the brakes on. While there wasn't the time to be putting on the brakes, that time had gone. You were just hoping that there comes somebody and just pulls things back for India. And it's that man, Jasprit Bumrah, who does it again. You needed 45 of the last 3. He bowls the 18th over, gives away just 6 runs. And that, I think, and look at the margin as well. 6 runs is what could have taken this match into a super over as well. And in a match where you've seen double-digit scores being registered almost in every over, there comes in this over, rare over, I would say. If you look at how this match played out, there would be only a couple of overs, I think, which would have yielded just a single-digit score. But 18th over, chases on, you need a little under, you need exactly 15 and over, and then there comes in this over, just 6 runs, mixes things up very well, Jasprit Bumrah. And I remember when you were celebrating the 2024 victory, Virat Kohli, while he was addressing the crowd at the Wankhede, this very venue, he said that time and time again, there was one man who got us back into matches, and that was Jasprit Bumrah. And yet again, at that very venue, how poetic is it that the same crowd gets to acknowledge and gets to see the greatness of a Jasprit Bumrah, who, let's make no mistake, if it wasn't for him, you were out of the T20 World Cup.
You were out of the reckoning entirely, because again, if you look at how it is that India's bowling charts have been, you only turned to your 6th bowler in Shivam Dube because you knew that there were only 30 runs to defend. And even then, it tells you the level of respect that we were showing to England, that you didn't turn to Axar. In the fear that if there's 2 sixes hit suddenly out of nowhere, you're staring at a situation where anything can happen. So you're like, okay, I'll rather have a dibbly-dobbly medium pacer than actually have a spinner. But why does it even reach that point in the first place? It reaches there because, in the words of DSP AP Dillon Siraj, I only believe in Jassi Bhai, game-changing bowler he is. Simple as. Those 2 overs which he had left for the death, I kept wondering, and we were having these debates upstairs because again, sports team was absolutely lit today, and people were like, oh, we need to get Bumrah on in the 13th, 14th over. I said, no. You have to hope that your other bowlers do the job. You need him at the death, because that is where they were looking to actually preserve their wickets for. If you look at how Bethell and Jags, and then later to an extent even Sam Curran were playing, they were looking to preserve their wickets to the death and hoping that if you get Bumrah now, what they would have done is maybe taken 8-10 runs off him and played him out. Yeah. Why it actually reached that point is because Arshdeep, I know he comes under criticism, and today yet again was spraying them all over the place at times, but that wicket he got of Jax, that one breakthrough was key. That breakthrough then which Pandya got, again, there was key.
Yeah.
But how does that come? It comes from the pressure that Jasprit Bumrah builds. It comes from that pressure because, again, they dare not try and attack him. You are not going to try attacking him. So you try attacking the others, and when you try attacking the others, you'll end up giving away wickets in the process. And that is really, of course, good captaincy on Sky's part also to keep him there, because it's such an easy temptation. I had everyone upstairs saying that 13th, 14th over, boss, you need to get Bumrah on now. I said, but then what happens to the death? Because if you could be in a situation whereby you're having to bowl a spinner in the death, then that is, your goose is very much cooked.
Yeah.
You cannot for 1 second be thinking about that, because that is such an obvious target over.
Yeah.
So they had to do, as our friend Siddharth likes saying, they had to do a Kane Williamson. You had to bowl all of your bowlers up front, ensure that the weakest bowler was the one who had the last over. So whether that would have been an Axar, weakest
No,
again.
You sort of saw that going that way, because that's exactly what you saw happen in the 2024 final, and it worked out for you as well. Again, these are decisions that define your legacy. These are decisions that make the difference between who the winner is and who the loser is. Again, you could have taken that call to preserve a Jasprit Bumrah for the final over, but no, you realize that South Africa had the momentum and that momentum had to be broken. So what do you do? 18th over Jasprit Bumrah, 19th over Arshdeep Singh, and then 20th over Hardik Pandya. That's what you did. And today as well, you knew that it was Axar Patel who then would have had to bowl the 20th over for you, or you had the option of going to a Shivam Dube, who now, the fact that he only bowls one over, it tells you about the fact that the team is very much looking, especially depending on the venue and how high scoring the game is, you are only sparingly looking at a Shivam Dube be looked at as a bowler, because that's exactly what you saw in the previous match as
He didn't bowl.
Exactly.
He didn't bowl, and that in itself tells you everything. I think you're only turning to him in an emergency. Today also you were partially forced by his circumstances, because you consistently had one left-hander in Jacob Bethell who was on an absolute tear. At one point in time, you had Sam Curran as well as Jacob Bethell, and the thing with Curran is he can sometimes struggle to accelerate, as he did a bit today, against quality bowlers, but Sam Curran absolutely murders left-arm spin. He's that typical left-hander. If it's coming into him, it'll be whack, 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 no problems. And that's why Sky did the smart thing and said, I cannot possibly bowl Axar. There is not a chance. So it was a case of, let's roll the dice, let's try and see how it is that the others will then fare. Because again, you had 2 overs from Bumrah at one point in time. You had a couple from Arshdeep, you had a couple from Hardik. You had to go there. You had to look at it and say, listen, I'm going to try and save as many runs so that I'm giving myself that much of a buffer, because I know that final over is going to be an expensive one. How many runs can I really save? That was the key. And I think they got that calculation right. But would you have been able to do that without Jasprit Bumrah? Not a chance in hell. Not a chance in hell.
There's one more person who, as Shane did point out, managed to get a single-digit economy on the day. And let's now turn our attention to Hardik Pandya. He delivers with the bat and then with the ball as well. How good was he really on an evening where you saw sixes being scored for fun, boundaries being scored for fun, but what Hardik Pandya goes ahead and do is, he produces a very good show, especially, remember, in a high scoring match where he has, oftentimes in such high scoring matches, we've seen that at the death, he has this ability to leak a lot of runs, and we've seen him wanting at the death on a few occasions, but not so today. Hardik Pandya, one thing that one says about him is that in crunch situations, he does know how to hold his nerve. Today as well, with his immaculate sense of accuracy with which he bowled today, I think he was extremely good, and yet another bowler who made a difference.
No, absolutely. I mean, look, with Hardik, I was a little worried with his over. Because again, I know that he's a quality bowler. Yeah, but the problem is that he does tend to leak runs in the death. That's a fact. However, who else would you have turned to? You couldn't have possibly even thought of turning to anyone else, because at that point you're thinking, no, I have to go to Hardik. And because he's also come clutch. We're talking about Bumrah in that World Cup. Hardik also got you those key breakthroughs, ended up holding his nerve to bowl those last overs. You cannot think of that without Hardik. That World Cup triumph was a redemption of sorts for Hardik because he was coming off a season where he was getting booed in every stadium possible in the IPL. You know, that was the year he returned to MI and it wasn't looking good. So he obviously was under the cosh, he was under the pump, delivered the goods. Today also, Kung Fu Pandya, as he's often called, comes clutch. And look, that's the thing. In bilateral games, in other games, he's tended to go for runs, which is why when I look at him, I'll try and bowl him either 3 overs up front or try and bowl him 2 overs and 2 overs in the middle. But today, that 1 over of his was really needed because again, I don't think you could have bowled 2 overs of Shivam Dube. If you bowl 2 overs of Shivam Dube, then you may as well give up the game there. Then 1 over of Shivam Dube cost you 22 runs at a time when the match was done and dusted. So you needed Hardik to step up. Thankfully, he did. Because again, those 2 wickets I think he had gotten, right? In that this thing only got 1 wicket.
One was that of Karn. One was that of Karn, I remember.
Yeah.
I think one he'd picked anyway.
Yeah, one was Salt. Yeah.
That was
so
earlier
that
on.
Last wicket, that last wicket which he got.
Sam Curran.
Yeah, when he got Sam Curran, at that point in time, I thought the game was okay, sorted. Because you had a new batter come in. And at that point in time, it was looking like, no. Yeah. But again, you're talking about game-changing matches. How can we forget about that catch?
I was about to come to the other match winner who perhaps we will not talk about if you would just talk about bowling performances on the day. By the way, Axar is making it a habit of cleaning up right-armers as right-handed batters as well, especially those who are targeting the sweep against him. He does know when to bowl it full and catch them off guard. But Axar Patel, my oh my, those 2 fielding efforts. See, we were talking about how important is it for you to be getting your act together in the field. Teams have paid very dearly for shelling catches. We'll talk about the missed opportunity from the England captain as well as we talk about Sanju Samson later in the show. But if it wasn't for those 2 brilliant, outworldly, I would say, fielding efforts we've seen, and running backwards is always very difficult. Those who know cricket, especially under lights, it's very, very difficult to chase the ball that's going away from you and to run backwards. It's very, very difficult. But not only does he judge that to perfection, but the other one in which he's again made to run a lot to the left side, but knows when to release the ball as well. Axar Patel, let's not forget, he's with his contributions, not just with the ball but in the field, just tends to fly under the radar at times. Let's also not forget that in 2024, if it wasn't for that catch of his in the deep, I think he was fielding at deep fine when he got that catch of Mitch Marsh. Australia were also going very, very good. So what a gun fielder he's turning out to be as well. A safe pair of hands. And yeah, whatever times that the team needs him, Axar Patel clearly reminding everyone why perhaps he has been chosen as the vice captain. And it's this team that I don't know how and what sort of logic that you give to your vice captain that you end up dropping him on an occasion here and there. If not for anything, keep him in the field. Just as you say for Rinku Singh, Axar Patel, by the way, quick fire runs as well, he gives you on from time to time. He again was the floater for you on that big final in 2024, and he's turning out to be that all-round figure that you so often need across formats in our sport.
Absolutely, you cannot disagree with that, because again, with Axar, that one catch, that pulling a rabbit out of the hat practically, it gave me full Surya Kumar Yadav vibes in 2024. Match was going away from you. You needed one bit of inspiration. And actually, I remember, if I'm being honest, I was a little frustrated at that point in time, not with Axar, but with Arshdeep. Because he was consistently, that was that point where he was going for the wide Yorker. Oh, one of those wides was unfairly given. That's fair. You can't help that. But other than that, some of those were so far wide. One of them looked like, I thought it was a no ball for a second, because it looked like it had almost bounced off the pitch. Now, at that point in time, I'm thinking, why are you going for that strategy? Why? Then with that Axar catch, I realized that they had stationed everyone there and they were basically trying to induce him to get a player false shot and potentially pick out the fielder. It was a tactic that worked, because again, were it not for that, Will Jacks, I think, was the batter who got out there. Jacks was going solid, and this is the same Will Jacks who's made it a habit to come in lower down the order in games this T20 World Cup and actually pretty much ensure that he could take the game away. Obviously today he had Bethell who was going all guns, so he was playing more of a supporting role, but let's not forget that even Jacks was more than helping them keep the asking rate in check. So you needed that wicket. Axar, of course, one of the best fielders in this team, I would say, effortlessly. him being there to clutch it. I was so glad it was him throwing it to Dubey, not the other way around, because I don't think Shivam Dubey would have reached it. He wouldn't have. But of course, he was taking that. I'm like, thank God it was Axar, because again, gun fielder, someone who you can rely on to always deliver the goods in the field. And of course, with the ball today, there were times where he, like pretty much everyone else, went for runs. I am not holding anything against anyone here, because again, very, very, very bad pitch for bowlers. Nightmare. You have to be a Jasprit Bumrah to have respectable figures on this ground. But
that man's a magician. Let's not forget, he ended the 2024 campaign with an economy of less than 6. How do you, in today's day and age where we're talking about 250s and 300s being the average totals and the kind of totals that team almost take for granted these days, batting first on a flat deck, Jasprit Bumrah registers those kind of maddening figures. It's only, again, a man who's worth his weight in gold can only be doing those things. But Axar Patel registering better figures eventually than your premier spinner.
I think it's time to have that awkward conversation.
Yes, and let's get to perhaps the bitter bits about this match as well. And there were a few bitter pills to swallow in this particular match. By the way, before I go forward and Shivam's just turned around, can I also tell what Shivam had said at the time that catch was taken? Because the time that we were all discussing about that catch, of course, it was match changing, etc., etc. Shivam makes a very cheeky comment saying that people who take such catches end up becoming the Indian team captains as well.
Ah, very interesting.
So it was you who said that, right?
Yeah, it was my thing. He will.
I hope he does, because otherwise being the vice captain of the Indian team is a very poison chalice.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last vice captain who actually ascended to full-time captaincy. Sky wasn't. Hardik was your vice captain.
Hardik was your vice captain.
So it's a funny business. Prior to that, I think KL was your vice captain, if memory serves me right. Or when Rohit was leading the team, I think that...
On a few occasions, yeah. Then you made Shubman Gill the vice captain.
Look where he is now.
Yeah. But anyway, let's... Hanji Shivam.
Bapu against Angrez, and that too against Salt.
That too against
He
Salt.
took the catch.
Dandi March.
Dandi March moment indeed.
Yeah.
Always those moments.
Yeah. But yeah, let's get to the bitter pills that we've had to swallow. Varun Chakravarti.
Look, I'll go first here, because there's a lot of analysis I'd have. One is, having watched him in the IPL for years, I can tell you he's always been a far better bowler against a right-hander than he's been a left-hander.
Okay.
That being said, the left-hander thing has become so glaringly obvious right now that I'm almost fearful when he was bowling against Jacob Bethell, because I kept looking and I was like, oh God, he's up against a left-hander. Okay, try something different. And you know, when it is that he wasn't getting hit, ironically, when he was mixing up his variations and trying to go for the one that was coming into the left-hander on occasion. Otherwise, he was trying to slide it wide and spinning away. The problem with it being wide and spinning away is that you're basically giving them free rein to just hoik. If you're bowling it a little slow through the air, or if you're bowling it more stump to stump, then less chance of that happening. He wasn't bowling stump to stump. He was consistently going wide, which I didn't understand. That's one problem. Second problem, he wasn't going to his leg break often enough. And when I say leg break, I'm not saying he's...
Stock delivery.
Yeah, I'm not...
What should be stock?
What should be stock delivery? His stock delivery is unfortunately the googly.
Yeah.
So, his stock delivery and his leg break obviously isn't going to turn great shakes. None of his balls turn great shakes. But that one variation there is enough to actually put a little bit of doubt in the mind. The problem is he's not doing this often enough against left-handers. And it's become a concern, an area of concern. With Varun, with any spinner in T20 cricket, you will forgive some big shots coming their way, because such is the brutal nature of the format. The problem is, though, when you've gone for 50 runs in 3 overs, then you are the clear and obvious weak link, wherein the point was that you actually had to bowl him out before anyone else, because you wouldn't have
you didn't want him to be bowling in the death at all.
And the problem was, at that point in time, you couldn't have even turned to Axar, because quite frankly, there were two left-handers. So you are in a situation now where your right arm off spinner or your right arm spinner and your left arm spinner both can't bowl to left-handers.
You were just waiting for an opportunity to get done with this over, and you didn't want him to be going into the business.
No, not at all. You couldn't afford it.
It was just turning out to be a very risky proposition. And he hadn't done much to give the captain any sort of confidence. It was was sweating bullets today, Surya Kumar Yadav, and I don't blame him at all.
There was
Varun,
one point, by the way, you're talking
yeah.
about Sky, where you're talking about him sweating bullets. There was this one ball I remember. Bumrah had packed the offside field, and then he bowled a slightly wide Yorker. I think it was to Bethell. And because it was tailing away and it actually turned out to be a very low full toss, Bethell just flicked it. And at that point in time, Sky is saying, you've got no one there. Why are you bowling there? At that point in time, you're feeling the heat. Sky normally is someone who keeps his cool. But at that point in time, he felt the heat. There's no two ways about it. And I think, even he would have been a little worried about Varun saying, listen, boss, I may as well just try and get his over done now at a time when there can be minimal damage done. And again, if it were up to me, two left-handers, I'd have probably turned to my other spinner. But my other spinner is a left-armer. The matchup just doesn't make any sense there. Then again, it's a case of picking the lesser of two evils. So, bad situation. I think for Varun now, suddenly where his form has dropped off a cliff so alarmingly, there are question marks again. You were talking about there being question marks over Abhishek. Many will ask that even Varun last 3 games hasn't been doing anything great. In fact, all of the major big games that we've played, he's actually been the one targeted the most.
I do have a number as well. Going into this match, he had, I think, 12 wickets, which does make him, by the way, the joint second highest wicket taker in the tournament. With that, I think he may just have become the joint top wicket taker, I think, with 13 now against his name. Or I think that US bowler perhaps had... it was 13 only. Yeah. But with him, the biggest criticism that's been of those 12 wickets now, Shane, barring the one that he picked up today, 6 came against Namibia and Netherlands. So that is another big criticism that Varun Chakravarti is faced with. Again, do teams make changes ahead of a big final, even when the team's winning?
Maybe not. But
we've seen that happen and we've not seen that happen. Don't forget, Shafali Verma turned out to be an absolute masterstroke for the Indian team. Sat out the tournament, in fact, wasn't even in the...
Yeah, but then you have to remember that was injury induced.
Yeah.
You didn't have a Pratika, and that's the only reason.
You didn't have a Pratika, and then she just comes out of nowhere. But I'm just saying, people have made changes, forced, unforced, whatever. And now India need to take a call, not just on one player, maybe on 2 now. And of course, we have time now to talk about it as we build up to this mega finale now. That'll be taking place on Sunday. But things not looking good. One thing we've always said about Kuldeep Yadav is he doesn't need the conditions. He doesn't depend on the pitch. He can bowl very well on a flat as a pancake wicket as well, because wrist spin, you make him bowl on a cemented wicket and he'll make the ball turn over there as well. So that's the thing with the wrist spinner that you get. Finger spinners, we've seen, Varun Chakravarti's struggles are very similar to those that finger spinners do face from time to time. In the case of Varun Chakravarti, I think what's become a feature of his bowling is, I think, the fact that he's not mixing it up very well. He's become far too predictable. I'll just repeat that stat for our family members yet again, that coming into the tournament, he'd bowled 70% of his deliveries were all googlies. 70% were all wrong ones. And of the total wickets in T20 internationals he'd taken, 80% had come of those wrong ones. But while that's brought him all the success in the world, what clearly has been a thing, if teams have targeted him and have come very well prepared, much better than we've seen teams prepare for him in bilaterals, you've had a good enough sample size that his footage has been seen over multiple times. Perhaps teams know when is it that he will be taking the ball away from the right-hander, because right-handers and left-handers more so, as you pointed out, Shane, just know when is it that you need to pull the trigger against him, and he doesn't really have a plan B. That, I think, is something, because you've seen, let's talk about Adil Rashid for that matter, you've seen him drop his pace considerably so that he's able to get more drift, he's able to get more turn, and that got him success as well in a couple of matches. At the moment, what the feeling with Varun Chakravarti is, because he's not somebody who gets a lot of drift
or flight.
Or flight. He doesn't give a lot of flight anyway. So at the moment, it just feels like he's got less tricks in his quiver at the moment. He needs a few more tricks in his quiver, and just feeling a bit empty right now. Things have become a little predictable, and I do think that just sticking to the basics, the fact that, let's not forget, what got him all the success was the fact that it instilled a bit of fear. The fact that he would only get the ball to move a little bit was what instilled the fear in the minds of the batter, be it left-hander, right-hander, that you don't know in which direction the ball will go, and that would make you question your shot selection.
Yeah.
You didn't know when to block the ball or when to play it on the off or the leg side, because you just didn't know which way the ball would spin, and even if it would, the degree of it would be so subtle that a minor mistake here and there and you've given up your wicket. So I think the fact that especially to right-handers, he's not taking the ball away from them. I know he today as well cleaned up one of the batters. Josh Butler it was, but again I think the predictability has really become a big Achilles heel for him.
Also, the other major issue which I was looking at, I was trying to think of some of the balls that I was watching of his. One of the key reasons he had suddenly started getting a lot of wickets was that he wasn't necessarily bowling it slower through the air. He's always struggled when he bowls it slower. So I really don't want him to bowl it slow. But when he tends to get hit, he'll tend to push it through quicker. It's what I call the Jadeja syndrome.
Yeah.
So you're not trying to, with Varun, I always used to talk about what is the reason why they were struggling to read his wrong end, because he was relying on overspin that was actually making it drift inwards. Now, if I'm a batter, or if you're a batter and if you're looking at someone bowl and you're seeing the ball drift in towards your leg stump, instinctively you're playing for it to go away thinking, okay, it's going like this. The thing is that it would drift, it would then, once it bounced, because of the overspin, it would skid through and come in slightly. That then made it suddenly tougher because you're playing for this and it slid through the gate. Very effective ball. Recently, I don't think he's been getting as much overspin. He's been trying to push it through quicker, and the problem is when you're trying to push it through quick, you are not going to be, and I bowl a little bit of spin for those of you guys who don't know. I can tell you for a fact, if you're trying to push it through quicker, you're not doing the necessary wrist or finger work to ensure that it is going to be getting enough revs.
Yeah.
Whether that be as I say, a finger spinner, a wrist spinner, or mystery spinner, you can be whatever. The fact is you still need revs. The most basic thing is some revs on the ball to get it to turn even subtly. If you are only focused on the pace, I can assure you are not going to be getting much in the way of spin. That is why sometimes you'll see a lot of spinners will sometimes try and pull things back. Adil Rashid being a very key example. This tournament itself, I remember some games in Sri Lanka, he was bowling it at like 70 kilometers an hour. I'm like, am I watching test cricket? Yeah. 70 kilometers an hour. But it was actually just going. And then what happens there on slightly stodgy pitches? You have to generate all that pace. With Varun, he's trying to make it quicker, but then he's losing out on even that subtle turn. So what's happening is that it's only going one way. Got pace and pace to work with. I think if I'm the bowling coach, I tell him, listen boss, you go back to what was working for you best. Try and get more overspin. Try and ensure that, because I don't think Varun, I know people talk about him being a mystery spinner. Varun, the mystery spinner, is no longer there. He's a subtle variation bowler and someone who can be classified as a leg break googly bowler. My point is that was working well for him. It's not like it will stop working if he's not doing the basics right. I don't think he's doing the basics right. So it's a mindset thing as much as anything else. Do I back him to bounce back from it? Sure. Do I also see maybe a chance that the team management decide to take the tough call? Why not? It's a final. It's a must-win game. You can absolutely take that call. I wouldn't be surprised if they did it with Abhishek either, which then now brings us potentially to the other major headache which we keep talking about. Yeah. Abhishek. Where has all of that form gone? What was he trying to do today? Blind slogging does not a T20 opener make. You cannot possibly be thinking about only going blind slog on a pitch where literally everyone else made merry. That's the thing. Yeah. If he had just batted sensibly, there was runs there for the taking. There were runs there. This was not, by no stretch of the imagination, was this a tricky pitch. Just look at every bowler's economy for proof.
Yeah.
Everyone didn't forget how to bowl. However, in Abhishek's case, now, the confidence looks gone. He looks a shadow of the player.
I remember, I said this after the conclusion of the West Indies match as well, when he dropped those 2 catches. I think those 2 catches told me that the man's completely out of confidence. And yet again today, you sort of realize that that confidence is missing. The trap was set for him, and now it's become a common trend. where we've seen in bilaterals, we've seen in this tournament as well, that there are fields that are set for an Abhishek Sharma, and he just falls into the same trap again and again and again. He's again become too predictable. I think teams know that you give him the bait, and he's likely to fall for that bait. Very disappointing that it's something that's recurring, and he's not been able to work his way out of this thing. Today he got those couple of boundaries as well. Absolutely no reason for him to have taken that bait. There's only 2 fielders for heaven's sake in the power play, and if you're finding those fielders again and again, then clearly there is a problem over there. Do you have enough time to rectify it? You've stuck with him through the entire tournament. I doubt if you're making that change ahead of the big final. Maybe again it's a conversation we will be having in the times to come as well, in the couple of days remaining in the build up to the final. But very, very disappointing that somebody who's looking so good has just not been able to come to the party, and it's been enough matches now, and yet again the man sitting across the border will perhaps be grinning. That's not my worry though.
Which man?
Where is Siddharth?
He's just about to join.
He's been free for such a long time. And
I believe a link was sent to him.
Oh, there he is.
Siddharth,
Right on
yeah,
time.
where were you? Yeah, your TV thing finished half an hour ago.
No, actually, Nikhil, there is a huge network issue right around here. See, I've just come about a kilometer away from the Wankhede so
God.
that I can get the proper network to connect with you guys. Because see, what happens is, from gate number 2 all the way to the Queen's Necklace, which is right about there, I have to come running in so that I can get the proper network to join you guys. So that is why I hope the network is fine. There is no issue with the audio, with everything else. And I'm visible at that point, because it is a huge issue in matches, Nikhil. You know, whenever you go out to the stadium, the network is jammed to such an extent. Even the most powerful of dongles in one of the network's capital areas, which is Mumbai, even that goes for a toss. So yeah, I had to really come a kilometer away to ensure that I get the proper network for you guys.
No, I travel, but I actually do my TV shows from the stadium, and I do full TV shows.
Today it was just not
nobody
connecting.
else to fall back on. I'm mostly anchoring only.
Yeah, but I don't know. Today there was a connection issue, but then I connected later on, and then you got the fan bites. You got on my
1 kilometer away that you've reached the network is any great. You're freezing here as well. But at least it may be slightly. No, it's okay. Now you've moved 1 kilometer, 2 steps. How will it make any more difference? If you are saying that you have walked so many kilometers. Okay, no. Let's get to the point. Jokes apart. Tell us, you had a vantage point there at the ground. So obviously witnessed, what was happening. Tell us what was going through the gamut of emotions that you felt. You tell me that, and meanwhile I'll murder someone for keeping the ACs off here in the studio. You tell us.
You shouldn't have told him that. Now he'll go and rant about that. You know how much he
And he's
loves
not
the
in the
AC.
studio. He's enjoying the Marine Drive breeze. In
Now
60
no breeze.
seconds I'm
Though.
sweating.
Now there is, now no breeze. But then, how do you feel? How do you guys feel once you've
Arey,
had
we
an up
asked you.
and down,
You
up-
don't want us. We asked you the
No,
question.
No, I'm getting to that. I'm getting to that.
Acha.
When you guys go through an up and down, up and down, up and down emotional roller coaster for a couple of hours, how do you feel after you come out of that roller coaster? This was the similar feeling for everybody who was there at the Wankhede Stadium. I mean, you were cheering dot balls. You were cheering whatever fielding effort was there. A wicket, whenever it came, it came. We were down to calculations. I mean, can you believe it, guys? At the 10 over mark, India and England were 119 for 2 and 119 for 4. Later on, they were 159 for 2, 159 for 4. England were ahead for most of the game. They were ahead. And let me just tell you, it was the cheat code of Jasprit Bumrah that ensured that you won this by 7 runs. Tilak Verma's 3 sixes and Jasprit Bumrah's wickets. I mean, look at it. At an economy rate of 8 economy rate on this belter where you scored close to 500 runs in 40 overs. Jasprit Bumrah, if you want to thank him, if you want to build him a statue, not just at the Wankhede, but all over India, if you win this T20 World Cup, you have to give it to Jasprit Bumrah and his spell. You have to give it to his way. I mean, it was a gamble, let me tell you. Bumrah's over, that 17th over that he bowled, ensured England had far too much at stake to chase. Because you had to bowl your two other weaker bowlers. So it was a gamble that Suryakumar Yadav took. And Bumrah, whole of India needs to thank Jasprit Bumrah for ensuring that they are heading to Ahmedabad. Otherwise, with the way how Bethell was batting, it was game over.
Actually, not just Bumrah, I completely agree with you on the Bumrah front. Actually, even when you needed 39 of 2, it's been done in T20 cricket. And that too on a pitch like Wankhede, where it was, easy to hit those shots as well as smaller boundaries, quick outfield. That penultimate over also by Hardik Pandya, where he actually just gave away 9 runs, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
And got a
9
wicket.
runs at that stage. See, it's very easy to give away 20. Had he given away 20, you're losing that match. Because then you've given 20 here, you'll give 19, and Shivam Dube bowled that final over anyway. So even that penultimate over of Hardik Pandya, that's that one other thing. And let's not forget one more thing, which is Axar Patel's catches. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we're just looking at different. But
It was Sky-esque, I dare say. Sky in the 2024
No, but he
final.
actually outdid Sky,
Yeah, because it was a full-on bunny hop.
and he took 3 catches,
Yeah.
and 2 stunners. I
Running
mean, that
backwards.
one catch itself on the boundary can rival the Sky catch.
Yeah.
Okay, but he's taken one more stunner, which, can I tell you honestly, technically that one was tougher. The first catch that he took running backwards
Yeah.
and taking. Technically, that was a tougher catch to execute than this, because this looks to the eye fantastic, but this is something that these teams practice for.
He had to just drag it back, right?
They practice also these
Yeah.
things.
Also, that's
that
the-
kind of
the-
running back and holding on to that catch is
the
next to impossible.
Normal trajectory of the ball, where you're practicing high catches and all, you're used to collecting the ball coming into you. This one's going away from you, running backwards, always very difficult. You're always chasing the ball. You don't know until you put in that dive whether you're getting your hands to it or not. So the calculations got to be perfect. The hands got to be in the right place. It can only happen. Only a few can pull this off, and he's making it a habit of taking stunners. Yeah, that too at this World Cup stage. It's fantastic. Vice captain truly also leading by example, as he should.
Yeah, that's the thing. The other thing I will remember from this game is that you should all, maybe Siddharth can answer, throw away these win predictors. Yeah, these win predictors are the most, I don't want to
Lord.
use that word, overrated things on the planet. A win predictor at that situation
14
where
over mark.
they needed 13 and over or so with 6 wickets in hand, that partnership happening between Bethell, the man in form, and Will Jacks is still on the crease. I think at that situation we are saying it's a 50-50 game, or let's say, even if you're not being very kind to England, you are saying 55-45 game at that stage. At that moment, win predictor is showing 90-10, 90% in favor of India. I mean, that is why I have hope in human intelligence. That is why I don't feel threatened by artificial intelligence, AI, or any such algorithm. I mean, anybody who is looking at that game, ask the players that were playing. If you would ask Suryakumar Yadav at that stage, Sky, what do you think? He would have said, close game, boss, it can go anywhere. He said it in the post-match. I was just listening to his, and he said it was such a close game, and I'm thankful to our bowlers at crucial situation. They really bailed us out. Because you look at their overall figures and you'll say they went for plenty of runs, but you have to take into account where they were playing, what the conditions were. And in that regard, he actually had high praise for his bowler. So even he was sweating. Even the person in the middle knows it's a 50-50 or okay, 55-45 if you're not being kind to England. 90-10.
And then I thought I'll go to a more objective website. And you know what I see? 87-13.
Same
I'm
thing.
like, come on, are you kidding me? What are you talking about?
Tomato, same thing.
Tomato, potato, doesn't matter at that point. They're all speaking rubbish. Because I'm like, yeah, they've been hitting it. And see, this is where objectivity comes in, right?
Yeah.
They were going at a 12-13 economy throughout the innings. It's not like it was, they had to go at say 9 or 10 and then suddenly choose up to 12-13. They had to go at nearly 13 throughout. They're going at that economy rate. They have 6 wickets in hand
90-10.
and 90-10. Are you kidding me? No, by the way, I use AI for very, very basic things because one time I thought I'll be smart and try to do research and I started picking out the mistakes of AI.
We did it together. Don't you remember? We tried multiple platforms as well.
Multiple things, and they're talking about close games
which didn't exist.
The game didn't exist. The bowler in that question is retired, and I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
What is going on here?
They try to do some intense.
Humankind. I still have belief in humankind. Okay, so that our in-house AI. Go ahead. I'm sure you have a comment or two.
So that you're on mute,
See,
I think.
your AI is not working. First, unmute yourself. Yeah, maybe your 1 kilometer walk has not helped matters. You rejoin, please. Go, take your time. You rejoin. Yeah. Coming back to the game, by the way, the other thing that I was just thinking, and we'll of course, I'm sure you've spoken about all the other factors. I was just thinking, if it wasn't for that drop catch, seriously, now look back at that drop catch. Harry Brook takes Sanju Samson. I'm not saying the Indian batting wasn't capable from there on. I'm sure they would have gotten those runs, but there's a possibility they could have ended on 220.
250 could have been 230 and suddenly you're in the game.
225. Because see again, I know there's firepower. You didn't utilize your rest of the batting, but the thing is, you suddenly lose, your openers quickly. You'll bat aggressively. You'll change your game a little bit, and that can impact those 20-30 runs. The man's got 89 runs. So even if I don't take all 89, not the absolute number, but you're surely making a difference. That drop catch right now, we can talk about anything. That's the game changer. Game changer for India.
If I'm Harry Brook, I'm lining up to get myself punched by another nightclub bouncer for dropping that catch.
No, now he doesn't need to go to a nightclub.
Now he just needs to go to Baz. I'm sure he'll clock him for him. Might have cost him his job.
Yeah.
I mean, we were saying that this is a virtual knockout for the coaches. Both coaches struggling in Test cricket and trying to use.
Baz is done?
I don't know if he's done, but it's not helping his case. It's not. I mean, in Test cricket, the one thing which they built up for 2 years, Ashes, those hopes went into ashes. T20 World Cup also, you came close, but no one cares about a moral victory.
Okay, yeah, Siddharth, you wanted to say about that drop catch. Okay, by the way, I have a treat for our viewers. I'll tell you that interesting bit. But before that, we'll go to Siddharth. Yeah, Siddharth, we were now looking back at that drop catch. If Harry Brooks take that catch, it's a different game. 253 is 220 at best. England are going through.
Which is why they say catches win matches. And today, 2 catches that Axar Patel took, incidentally, one of Harry Brook and the other that he took, which ensured that England always had to play catch-up, was the main difference maker of 7 runs. It wasn't 70 runs, 7 runs. Sanju Samson, when he was dropped, he was in his 20s. He went on to make 60 runs more. Those are the fine margins that I'm looking at this point in time. Because how on earth would England back themselves? Because see, your captain, he can talk the talk in the press conferences. When it comes to walk the walk in this particular game, it was a terrible game for Harry Brook. Look at it. 7 runs with the bat when he has been your prime batter against Pakistan, against New Zealand when you look at it. But on the crunch game, he had to take that catch. And it is the one regret that England will look back upon in this T20 World Cup. Had we held on to that catch, we could have actually been headed to Ahmedabad.
Yeah, that's true. Now to the treat that I promised. The treat is in some treat in the sense some sort of insight, which these two are familiar with. Siddharth may not be familiar with. England have lost 3 wickets, and they are staring at a defeat. At that time, I will still trust the predictor. I will still trust the predictor, where if at that stage it was 90-10, I would have trusted, because they had lost some quick early wickets. India had piled on record 253. At that stage, I am chatting on WhatsApp with one and only Sunil Gavaskar. And I'm telling him at that stage that Sunny Bhai, as I call him, that game will get early, maybe we'll do a show early. I'm discussing the post-match discussion. And he tells me, he doesn't say, no, let's wait, nothing like that. He says to me that don't jump to conclusion, game is finishing early. England is winning this one. He says it in as many words. England. And I sent him a message back. I said, are you serious? No way. The 50 something the score is at that time. They're 3 wickets down. I'm saying, no way are they chasing 250. Yes, it's a possibility that they reach 200. Possibility 200 on a good pitch.
Even then there's
That's
a 50
still
run
50 run win. It's a one-way traffic. He says, wait and watch and see how the game turned out. And why these two know is when I came up, and I in fact came 3-4 overs later where it still had slightly improved.
You'd come around the 12 over 13 over
It had
mark,
still improved. I had that conversation on 6-7 overs where remember they were completely down
They
and
were
out.
3 wickets down.
Yeah, when I came to you guys, that was about the 12th over. Even then, India were looking like the clear favourites. I came and told everyone on the desk, on the sports desk, that Mr. Gavaskar is saying, they all didn't believe me. They all didn't believe me. And then by the time 15th over had come, it had become 50-50. Everyone was panicking. I was like, that is why he's Sunil Gavaskar. He saw it much before any one of us. We all knew that, okay, due, close game. But even then, we thought 200. He said, England are winning it.
Yeah.
It didn't happen. 7 runs is no margin.
You're
Let's not forget.
6 away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, into forcing super over, but we're talking about somebody who'd seen the future of Indian cricket much before any of us did. He was on commentary that day. He said that Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, these guys are future superstars. He called it much before any of us even thought about. We knew they were promising talents, but who knew that they'd become poster boys barring a Sunny Gavaskar?
Yeah. Siddharth?
He respects the opponents. He knows the conditions at the Wankhede. And I'm pretty much sure you would have asked him, Nikhil, about that 87 situation. Remember, India had lost in 1987 in very heartbreaking
You're
circumstances.
so smart. He knows I've asked him because he was on the TV show. He's heard me ask him. And now he said, I'm sure you must have asked him.
No, I don't know whether I caught that because
How
of the
much was
network
it?
issue, remember?
Huh?
I didn't know whether I caught that part because network
caught
issue,
it, of
took
course
me
you
time
did.
to...
You
Of
are
course you
GPT,
did.
yeah, Siddharth. You would have definitely got it.
So, I wish the broadcasters learnt a bit from Sunil Gavaskar about respecting your opponents and not just brushing them away like that. You have all these nonsensical campaigns that are going on, 300 par, the cupcake fiasco and all of that. There is a reason why sport is what it is. It is because of the way how you respect your opponents. And trust me, Sunil Gavaskar knew it that yes, this is a very tricky opponent that you're facing. They have the batting depth. They can very well do it. And boy, they were 7 runs away from inflicting what would have been the catastrophic consequences if India had lost. Let's just look at that. And because see, I have pointed out in one video, whenever India have lost in the semi-finals to England in any ICC event, it has always led to catastrophes by which it's taken them a lot of time to rebuild. I'll tell you why. 87. You lost the semi-final at the Wankhede on the back of 3 good years when you were doing well in ICC events. 83 World Cup, World Championship of Cricket. You had won series in England. You had drawing in Australia. But then in 87, when you lost the semi-final, Indian cricket descended into a pall of gloom by which we 90s kids had to undergo depression with the fact tigers at home, lambs abroad. And it took you a lot of time to recover from that. In 2022, when England beat you in the semi-final, what happened? You had to change your entire T20 blueprint. Now you are ahead of the curve because of that, but you luckily did it in 1 year. But imagine, had this resulted in a loss, questions would have been asked over, was all the bilateral series results of fluke? Surya, captaincy time up, Gambhir, coaching time up. The transition that you had to undergo, even the T20I setup, would have been disastrous. You're already having a tough transition in Test cricket. In T20, I don't think this double whammy Indian cricket would have been prepared for. Now, you got one occasion on March 8th to ensure, okay, This is simply too good in that sense.
Siddharth, have you taken some panga over there? There's this man
No.
right behind you. He's tossing the ball again. Then you're looking at him. Just have a word with it. It's almost as if he's waiting to smack that ball.
Well, I'm just doing my analysis at this point in time. There will be people who will join in afterwards. That's what I told. Because his kid is also there. That is the thing.
No, we can hear them. No harm. We can hear them. What is?
आइए इनको ऊपर करना पड़ेगा क्योंकि शायद वो दिखेंगे नहीं. ठीक है. So अच्छा ये वही बॉल है जो बाहर गुम हो गई थी. हाँ
वही होगा क्योंकि मैं प्रैक्टिस इससे ही करता हूँ.
अच्छा नहीं आपको शायद मुझे ऐसा करना
No,
पड़ेगा
Siddharth, we
ताकि
can
आप
hear them.
सुनने
Don't
का-
worry about it. We can hear everyone.
ओके हाँ तो ये बात मैं जानना चाह रहा हूँ कि कौन सा वो वक्त था कि आपको लग रहा था कि भाई इंडिया जीत जाए लेकिन हार भी सकती है. कौन सा वो 2 फैक्टर्स था जो आपको लगा भाई बचा लो यार.
हार्दिक पांड्या ने जो बॉलिंग डाला बहुत अच्छा था.
अच्छा
और जो कैच पकड़ा उसमें वो मेरा जान में जाना है. बस वो टर्निंग पॉइंट था.
Turning point था.
वही टर्निंग पॉइंट था. अरे अपना तो बुमराह बेस्ट था. वो हमको मालूम है बुमराह खेलता ही. तो बुमराह और जो बॉलिंग डाला था हमको 100% था. तो वो पीछे का टीम जो ओवर डालने वाला था वो ऑक्सीजन लेवल था. उसके बाद जो पांड्या ने जो डाला वो ब्यूटीफुल.
ये बॉल लेके why is he hanging around with a ball? Why does he have a ball?
बॉल लेके आया क्योंकि कोई मेरे को
लेकिन ये एक मिनट आप ये गेंद के साथ क्यों क्या कर रहे हैं.
टीम को लेके आया क्योंकि मुझे को मिलेगा तो मैं इसे सिग्नेचर नहीं.
अच्छा, for a
सिग्नेचर
autograph.
लेंगे.
Okay, thank you very much.
यस यस
Thank you, sir. Thank you for joining us.
जी
कि मैं मेरा बॉल से मैं प्रैक्टिस कर.
जी अच्छा वाह बढ़िया है.
Okay,
बढ़िया
sir.
है. तो
Thank you very much.
Yeah, as you
There's
can
an
see-
interesting point that Siddharth makes about, if this had, and let's look at that particular scenario as well. If this had turned out to be a loss, hell would have broken loose. Indian cricket from here on, and okay, fine. When you went into a game versus England, there was a good. Shivam, if you can be kind enough to reduce. If you had a situation where you went into this game and this was of course a 50-50 game and you could have lost, no problem, it happens. You're against England, there would have been scrutiny, there would have been postmortems, discussion. But had you scored 253 and lost this game, the effect or the after effects would have lasted much longer. And not to say that a loss would have helped save a few jobs, they would have still resulted in their ouster, maybe the captain, maybe the coach would have still happened. But if you scored 253 runs, nobody would have looked at that it's a belter of a track, it's very easy to chase, nobody would have looked at if you lost from 253. Actually, this is a defining win in that sense, that can kind of safeguard the future of Indian cricket per se. They lost in this way, could have had a much serious impact.
I like what Siddharth just said a short while back, that Indian cricket wasn't prepared for such an outcome or the fallout of it, because till now the focus, remember, it was the same
you were
opposition.
prepared for a loss. A loss could have happened.
Yeah, but in such a manner.
Yeah,
you could have
253 no.
Where again, how did the 2020 where did the 2022 exit leave you? It left you wondering more about your batting than your bowling. You worked for 2 years. In fact, 4 years, you prioritized your batting. You took it from one level to the other, from 22 to 24. From 24, you've been the one to lay down the marker. You've been exemplary. So batting wise, okay. Bowling wise, also things have come good. But then this 2026 would have left you thinking, 253, we can't defend. What kind of bowling are we? What kind of bowling unit are we? Then you're looking at, okay, resurgence in bowling, are you questioning a Jasprit Bumrah? Are you questioning about those who are around Jasprit Bumrah? Because if you're not able to defend 253,
Bumrah wouldn't have been questioned.
yeah, Bumrah wouldn't have been everyone
started
around
his
him.
first delivery of the match. He picked
Everyone
crucial
around
wicket.
him would then have been in the dock. And then you're thinking, of course, then you're not doubting your batters. You're not pointing the fingers at your batters and saying 253 is not enough. 253, if you're not defending, then There's only one unit to blame, and that's your bowling unit.
No, it would have. The bowling is. That's not to say that the bowling doesn't come under scrutiny even now. I think Varun Chakravarti, again, we'll have enough time to build up to that final. But I guess where we're sitting right now, it's going to be very tough for you to play Varun Chakravarti for the final in the form that he's shown. I think that you needed to be patient with him, but now slowly and steadily it is becoming quite
It's
obvious.
needs must now. It's needs must. You have to look at what's the need of the moment, and the need of the moment is that you'll need someone who can at least, if not give you wickets, will at least give you control. Right now, he's giving you neither. So you're gonna look at it that way, and maybe take the tough call.
Yeah, let's go to Siddharth. Siddharth has something to say here.
Yeah, Nikhil, you had mentioned a point about I don't believe in AI. This particular T20 World Cup, I don't believe in the rankings anymore, because your number
Abhishek.
one T20I batter and your number one bowler have both come up short in this T20 World Cup. And I got a lot of comments on my social media handle saying that, boss, India have to make 2 changes for Ahmedabad. There is no way that you can continue with these 2, because the main questions are on 2 people. Your number 1 T20I bowler and number 1 T20I batter. You cannot persist with Abhishek Sharma anymore. That is one. Because of the way how he got out, he refuses to curb the ego. After hitting a couple of boundaries, he gets out again. Varun Chakravarti, today from the vantage point that I saw, I was wondering, is this Varun Chakravarti bowling? He looked like a pale shadow. He was either bowling it too short. I mean, look at the start he had here. 3 sixes, 1 4, 23 runs. I know Chakravarti went for runs even in Ahmedabad against South Africa, both occasions, 4 for 53, and he went through. But this is your number 1 bowler. You only went through because Jasprit Bumrah's 4 overs are out of the equation. But Arshdeep was infuriating. He bowled wides. He kept on bowling wides. Chakravarti is not looking his usual self. I'm very sorry to say. I think the last 3 games where he's been tongued around has impacted his confidence in a big way.
Yeah, that is true. And see, again, I've often said it's not about phases, and you need to back your best players. And Varun is definitely one of those big players. But sometimes I said this about Abhishek also before this game when we did that sometimes it's the eye test. And to me, he didn't seem to be passing the eye test, which is why I had advocated that for the semi-final, it's a crucial 2 games coming up, semis, final. If you play the final, I would have made that change of not having Abhishek and then, opening with a Sanju and a Ishan Kishan and bringing a Rinku. That was my suggestion. But when they went with Abhishek, that is also not something that, I was very critical of, because fine, I understand what the team is trying to do, back their place. Ditto for Varun. I said that, he's such a big part of your T20 plans that suddenly to not have him is also not on. But now I think maybe you reach that stage. Again, as I go, eye test. It's not about 2 bad games, 3 bad games. You remember before this World Cup, there was a stage that Jasprit Bumrah also didn't have the kind of fluent games that we got so used to him. Yeah. But nobody really said anything, because you said, okay, fine, some games he's been taking easy, or he's been resting, rotating, comes for a few games, doesn't play all games. So I think there is enough doubt to even think on those lines that his form is a worry. That's why nobody went down that road. But for Varun now, what happens is it looks like teams have figured it out. They know exactly what he's going to be doing, and then they're attacking him like that. That's why I'm saying it's a bit of a worry, and you're going to be up against a team like New Zealand, and one thing that they never fall short of is preparation. You can say anything else, but in terms of preparation, with a team like New Zealand, they'll come 100% prepared. But kudos to India. Before we take the question, I think India also came really well prepared. I said this before, we've criticized them for tactical errors. Today they were bang on, at least in their batting rotation, how each player took on the other player. I liked how Sanju Samson also, everyone spoke about that Jofra Archer, Sanju Samson matchup. He ensured that he went after a Jofra Archer, came much better prepared. To use the lefty-righty, brilliant. You didn't allow Will Jacks to settle in, which is something that he had been doing consistently. You again didn't ensure that Adil Rashid, their other danger bowler, settles in. You sent Shivam Dube higher up the order to tackle him. And quite smartly between the 2 batters, between Sanju and him, they were rotating strikes where, Sanju was taking on the fast bowler and Dube would take on the spinner. So I think tactically Indian team bang on. We've criticized them in the past, but when they do well, you have to, doff your hat as well and say, well done. Let's take some questions, but I know man of the match is Sanju Samson, no doubt. But there has been an occasion where a man of the match has been given to a fielder. Siddharth would remember Sunny Gavaskar got it in Sharjah for his catches, a low scoring encounter. What a game that was, India-Pakistan. I mean, this was as good an occasion any for a fielder to even get it, but
I am perhaps even considering Jasprit Bumrah.
Bumrah as well, I agree.
Hey,
I
so
agree.
One thing which stats, numbers, scorecards will never tell you at what stages a bowler is bowling and what the context is, what kind of
Because
required run
the
rate.
best batter on the day was Jacob Bethell, let's be honest.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, best batter on the day. But can there be any other best bowler of the day apart from Jasprit Bumrah?
No.
Between the two teams, the best bowler.
we
Between the two teams, the best fielder.
Axar.
And game-changing fielder at that. We were talking about that drop catch and how that changed the game. Look at the...
Absolutely. There were... this was about just...
Yeah, Shivam, please stop with your pushing for your favorite player, Hardik Pandya is trying to show. So he cannot be man of the match.
I don't think he would have been man of the match.
He doesn't even come into the conversation, let's be honest.
There is
That's
Bumrah, there is Axar, there is Sanju
Samson.
Three
Finish.
contenders.
End of matter.
I am perhaps because there was somebody who did better than a Samson as well. Batters made hay and sunshine. The difficult task was to stop the flow of runs. And there was only one bowler who did it better than anyone else. Hardik Pandya, yes, the other economical bowler on the day, but there was a difference in the economy of the two. And then at the stage at which Jasprit Bumrah bowled, phenomenal. Who gives away 6 runs when there's 15 needed and there was hardly an over or two in the entire stretch of these 40 overs that you saw a single digit, score at the end of the 6 balls. Just 6 runs.
Yep.
Over number 18.
We've got Naveen Narayan who says heroes of the match. Now, he's got multiple heroes. Sanju, Hardik, Axar, Bumrah, Arshdeep, that way even Dubey.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Abhishek, Sky, Varun Chakravarti, bye-bye after World Cup final. We should never defend in the final. Let's not forget, actually credit to the Indian team on that as well. They've done the tougher job and won. Let's not lose sight of that fact. After the toss, nobody is giving too much of a chance to the team batting first. Yes, okay, fine. You can see the margin is close, but a win is a win after having lost the toss. So let's not lose sight of that fact as well. So well done to the men in blue, deserved finalists.
Naveen Narayan again saying Bumrah should be given man of the match. That over was chilling. Can't disagree.
Siddharth, any thoughts?
I mean, why can't you give a Jasprit Bumrah the man of the match for simply ensuring India won? I mean, it was his spell. You have to also remember that we were wondering, he's bowling the 18th over. We want him to bowl the 19th there so that there can be far more of a buffer. But luckily, that cheat code over ensured that he won. But I wanted to talk a bit about Sanju. Mumbai 2025 was the lowest point for Sanju Samson. Prior to this match, he averaged 11 against Jofra Archer. Today, out of his 89 runs, he hit him for 38 runs. And he took the bull by its horns.
Yeah.
So, 2 consecutive 50s. And remember, this is now the joint highest score by an Indian in a knockout game. He equaled Virat Kohli. He hit 89 in the same venue 10 years ago.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I think no praise is enough for Sanju Samson, by the way. And I not even looking at, when we were speaking about drop catches, it is no reflection on Sanju Samson. Those drop catches is from the point of view of England. In every game there are drop chances and other batters get their chance. That's not the batter's fault. You ride your luck. Sometimes stunners are taken against you. Sometimes easy chances are dropped and the game evens out at the end. So it balances out. In that sense, I think Sanju Samson's knock today absolutely incredible, and that's why I mentioned the way he took on Jofra Archer. I think he came with a plan, and as I've said previously as well, what I'm liking about, see, with Sanju Samson, you always, things that you associated with him was good stroke play, pleasing to the eye, big hits. These are certain qualities you would attribute to Sanju Samson, batting at a high strike rate. These are suddenly two things that, I think are two new facets that he's added to his batting. And I know it's not a big sample size, it's the 2 knocks that he's played, but even then, 2 different facets that he's added. One is consistency. That's not something that you associated with him. So him being consistent, 2 now back-to-back stunning knocks. And the second thing is his game awareness. I think that is incredible. That's not something that we would see so often from Sanju Samson. He's got hundreds in T20, as I've often said that. But those hundreds would come as like, it's my day, bring any bowler, put any field, I'm clearing the boundaries. But now, sudden game awareness, like for example, he's riding high, and when he's in form, he's got a quick fire 60, he's attacking every bowler. Today, what did he do? When this one was there, Shivam Dube, I saw that. He was happy to take singles. He was happy to be at a non-striker's end. That is not what Sanju would do otherwise. If he's got 50, he's saying, bring on any bowler, I'm attacking. It's okay if I get out. I'm going for it. He said, no, I have a role to play. Right now, I have gotten the start against the bowlers that I had to. Now it's the worst time. Yeah. Let me wait for my chance. He waited. That game awareness is the new thing that he's added, which I'm loving it. I think that was the only missing piece of the puzzle when it comes to Sanju's batting. And that, if he comes in, if he can sustain this, I think he has many more bright days coming ahead. Not only in this World Cup, but if you're a fan of the IPL and Chennai Super Kings, then you have better days ahead. By the way, the one thing I don't know if all of you noticed, who was at the stadium today?
Thala.
What was the winning margin for India?
7 runs.
There you go.
Thala for a reason.
Thala for a reason. So the man was there, and he must have been looking at Sanju and what he's doing, or for that matter, Dube, how he's taking on. Of course, he knows things about Dube, he's been there. But he was there. Anyway, Ajib Agarkar.
If I can tell Varun struggles bowling around the wicket to left-handers, then why can't the team management? Every time Bethell came on strike, they gave the ball to Varun.
I think he nail and head.
Yeah.
Stolen the words out of our mouth, Ajib Agarkar.
Yeah.
Name may be Ajib, but you've come up with
comments precise.
But comment
precise. Absolutely. And these are, I so agree with it, because these are exactly the kind of conversations we have when we are watching the match.
कि हमें पता है.
Like,
how do you guys know?
Why is he going around the wicket? When I see that, and I was like catching hold of my head even before a boundary is hit.
Then you've got Sridhar Savarkar saying, stepped up when it mattered the most in the field and with the bat. Thank you, Jasprit Clutch God Bumrah, for being an Indian. Star/gem/treasure. Call him what you will. My man of the match for sure, and Bapu in the field.
Yeah. Please, in fact, I'd insist one of you, why don't you just write to the RBI, ask them if there's a place we can get built for Jasprit, call it the national treasure. Let's just have Jasprit Bumrah over there. I'm willing to sign that petition.
No, I don't think any of us have to say. Our man Siraj had said it long ago.
I only believe in Jassi Bhai.
The one and only game changer.
Game changing bowler he is. Mohammad DSP AP Dillon.
Price of gold, silver will depend on war situations. Jasprit Bumrah only keeps going up. Oh, if you could invest, if there was a stock named Jasprit Bumrah, I'm putting all my money.
He's not a stock. He's an FD or an RD.
Nah, he's an FD.
Guaranteed
I said
returns.
this before.
He's guaranteed
because
returns.
stocks go up and down. FD guaranteed.
He's fixed.
MRF stock only sitting so high beyond affordability.
Sarthak Arya says, in this flat track where every batter was scoring quick, fielding makes a difference. Brook dropped Samson, and Axar taking those two streamers made all the difference. Please drop Varun in the finals.
There you go. Sarthak is saying anything. Siddharth hasn't had a chance to say. We've been like joking around. So yeah, any thoughts and everything we've said? You can keep coming in once in a while. Yeah.
I mean, Jasprit Bumrah is like a plot of land. You buy it, after years and years, it will keep on appreciating. It will never depreciate.
Says the man who
exactly comes
made
from
some
the
very
landowner.
good money in Mathura right now.
Not up to
I'm not telling where exactly he owns.
No, it's coming from a landowner. He is invested in land. He's made a lot of money. That's why he's coming up with such examples.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yes, next one.
Rakesh Bhushan says, Varun's bowling too many overspins. Initially it used to get him to bounce. Now he's bowling short and taken for runs. Then he tends to bowl short today. He was also bowling seam up. Shane, his right hand, left hand looks perplexed. I agree. against a left-hander, he always was much stronger against right-handers. I said it earlier on in the show as well. Now it's become such an obvious, glaring thing that you're like, something needs to be done. Nishant Raghav says, I predicted it earlier. Today was India's day. History will repeat on 8th March. That's my hidden talent. Nothing else. Very easy for me to predict.
No. Don't. It's a big enough talent, Nishant. Well done. Why hidden? Make it more obvious. Don't hide such talent.
To be fair, I had said 15-20 runs. They ended up outdoing me by making it 7.
Yeah.
But I said it will go either very close or they're getting hammered. It went too
Harshal
close.
also said very close, then said 40 runs. 50 runs.
I was expecting 200, 210 और कितना हो जाएगा?
240. Rakesh Bhushan also says, Ashish Dhar says, Varun should not play at all. He's lost confidence. Him and Abhishek both in the same boat. You're number ones.
You heard Mr. Gavaskar's comment on the broadcast. He said, today, after India's batting, he said, today everyone contributed to the Indian batting with the exception of Abhishek Sharma.
We have time to come up with our 11s.
Factually correct.
ये क्या logic हो?
Yes, silly logic.
Keep this for Shivam Giri. Yaar. Scored 9 of 797. Huh? It's 6-7.
6-7.
Rakesh again.
Says Arshdeep off late leaking lots of runs. He was good at bowling Yorkers. With heavy offside field, bowlers tend to bowl outside the off stump, giving crucial wides. Where are the variations, loppy bouncers, slower deliveries and Yorkers?
It's a good point. I think at that stage he was relying on that outside the off stump Yorkers only. I think he was going for that.
The wide Yorker, yeah.
Yeah, outside the off stump Yorker.
Yeah.
That's the one area that he was going for. Also, it's pretty risky. I guess, you know what happened, by the way, today, because you're talking about the slower ones. Ashdeep bowls a mean slower one. I think today was not the day. See, Jofra was trying it a lot. He tried a lot of slower balls. Every one of those balls landed up going for a 6. Sam Curran tried a few of his slower balls. They went for 6s as well. So the problem is it's a different Ahmedabad, black soil pitch, India, South Africa, that was the ground to bowl. See, India also struggled against slower balls. So England came with that plan of slower ones, thinking India will get caught. But you have to be again mindful of the conditions. On this ground, with the pitch that was on offer, those slower balls just didn't work. So today was not the day, and that's where I think England erred as well and allowed India then to score those extra runs. And I was pretty surprised. And that's a problem that sometimes Jofra has. He just sticks to his plan and keeps doing it. Now you as a bowler are seeing it's not working. You say, okay, I'll be done with my slower ones, but he continued to bowl it. Though, I mean, I can't blame him much. Some of his fast deliveries also went outside.
He bowled 147.7 clicks with Sanju deposited for a 6.
Yeah,
so I don't blame him for going slower ball.
Correct. And that's why I asked Mr. Gavaskar in the interaction, which will be up on Sports Today very shortly, right after the game when I was doing the TV show. And I said that, bowling and do we blame the bowlers? He said, I frankly would not. Because
I felt sorry for them.
Yeah, he said this is a ground like that you really can't help. I mean, so sometimes we can overanalyze as to what each bowler was doing, but you're helpless. You can't do much. It's a day. It's much like when sometimes you got those real dry pitches where then we start, going after the batters without realizing that ball's turning square, it's gripping. You are like lambs to slaughter.
Exactly.
Can't do anything.
Sarthak Arya says, I remember Stark for KKR under GG's coaching, mentorship. Disappointed throughout the season, yet delivered in the final.
Yeah.
Same vibes from Abhishek, but still not Varun. That guy's mystery has been revealed. I don't know, Abhishek's not giving me that vibe either.
Yeah, again, Stark comes with a lot of pedigree and experience. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, and see,
you don't know if this is down to the stage, if this is down to bad form, or maybe a mix of both.
No, see, I'll tell you why. Again, why is it that I advocated not having Abhishek in the semi? Nothing against him. He's a bright boy, has a long future ahead of him. Go back to that eye test. See how is he getting out today? See, if you play a outstanding shot or there's an outstanding delivery, you get all beaten up, fine. Or you hit a few 6s and in an attempt to hit another one, you get out. It's fine because remember, he's a aggressive batter. So these things will happen with him. The problem is when you know exactly the two fielders there for the two shots that he plays, and he knows they've kept that for the trap, you still fall into that trap. That is not thinking about the game, that's not game awareness, and that is what worries you, that he's not thinking about what he's supposed to do. All I'm saying is if he's gone there, his basic shots that they have laid a trap for, just avoid those shots and do everything else. He's a international level batter who scored across the pitch in different ways. If you have to eliminate just two different shots for which they've kept two fielders, just eliminate those two and try various. And he did it. Remember we were talking that he hit a cut shot for 4.
Yeah, this off
the spinner. Yeah. I was like, see, there it is. You've now found this particular option as well. There are other options you have to do. Why do you have to go to the two fielders and then, no sooner had I said it, there he goes for that shot. Yeah. That fielder waiting exactly for that shot and you get out. That is what really infuriates you. That is what really frustrates you. You say, come on. I'm saying even if some of you have played any decent amount of cricket and if you've batted for something, you play club cricket, you realize that, when you keep playing a certain way, opposition teams know that about you. Yeah. That this is what, like he's good at a cut shot or, he's very good at drive. They try and stop that with fielding. Okay, now my point is, even at your level, you will understand that, okay, this is the plan. Let me try something different. I will not do this for which they've planned. These are basic adjustments that he's an international level batter. I'm saying even at club level cricket, you make those adjustments. You become used to that. After having played so many games, you understand what you're supposed to do. That's not what he's doing. So what that is telling me, that he's not putting any thought into his batting, which is the worrying sign. That's why I think maybe if he some time off will serve him well. If he goes out, spends some time away. It's not that suddenly he's become any less of a talented batter that he was. Yeah. It's just that not in the right frame of mind. Sometimes just step back a bit, go back to the basics. You come back sorting those issues out, and he can once again start hammering.
You've got Rakesh Bhushan now, who's written in Hindi. Wow. Okay.
I'll read it.
Please do.
कैसा है, दुखी मत हो भाई, ये एक लंबा टूर्नामेंट है, कभी भी मौका आ सकता है. This is what Rohit Sharma said to Sanju during first match versus USA, and look how pleasing to the eye Sanju Samsung is, and he has grabbed his chance as well. Rakesh, I mean, he must have said it, but right now, what do they say that, not that Rohit Sharma is claiming any credit for it, and I know that Sanju absolutely loves Rohit Sharma, he's spoken about it. His father, Sanju's father, has said some great things about Suryakumar Yadav as captain as well. My point is, success has many fathers. Failures and
has but one.
Yeah. So in that sense, now what is happening is, I've also seen some coaches, IPL level, this, that, everyone is now saying, we said this and this is how it was done and that. So I will give credit to Sanju Samson, because even when he was going through a bad phase, I'm sure there are many people who advised him. It wasn't paying off. How is it that he started doing well? He applied himself. So credit to the man himself, that is Sanju. Yeah. Simple.
Naveen Narayan says, thought JB as in Jos Buttler will haunt us, but it was Bethell that had us mostly. Yeah. Bethell, I'm almost loath to say this, he's that one English talent who can live up to the hype. They hype everyone. Anyone who comes through. He's an IPL winner. Look at how effortless he looked at number 3 for England in the Ashes.
Yeah,
poor guy made Ollie Pope look like an absolute joke of a cricketer. 100. And now even today, the way he was batting, it just didn't look like pressure was getting to him. Yeah. I don't know. This guy is the real deal, I'm saying. Yeah. He looks like it. I know they hype the likes of Brook and whatnot. Bethell looks it. He looks it.
I agree. I completely agree. I'll rate him higher than Harry Brook.
Yeah.
Harry Brook too inconsistent.
Yeah, Harry Brook is there, Sanju Samson. You look at him.
The earlier version.
Yeah. No, I'm saying, you look at him and you're like, oh, he can do this. Do it more often. He's just like, no, I'll go punch night club guys instead.
Dhanu says Sanju in 1 ICC knockout innings has same number of 50s as Gill in 8 ICC knockout innings. Pant playing 76 T20Is ahead of Kishan and Sanju is criminal.
I mean, in hindsight, it's a bad.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Rakesh Bhushan says, Nikhil, you said 220 okay in high pressure match, but one thing, England didn't bow down to pressure. Even Sky gave up going through the motion. It was Bumrah bowling that won us the match in 19th over by Hardik Pandya. Good points. Rakesh and I pointed those 19th over Jasprit Bumrah. But can I tell you one thing? You know, it's a very good point, and I wanted to touch upon that. 220 na is the total where pressure plays, because it's within your reach. You know what actually India did by scoring 253? You actually took the pressure away. Because from that time, England doesn't have, see, pressure comes when, what do I do? Should I attack? Should I defend? What do I do? What situation do what? And that is what sometimes troubles you in chases. When you have no other option, 253, everyone who walked out, and that's how England batted also. No other option but to attack. Lose your wicket, so be it, but you have to just keep attacking. When you reach that, sometimes it takes a little bit of pressure off you, because you don't have to be in two minds at all. You just have to say, and you know why that pressure is off, because you know if I try to play a shot and I get out, nobody's going to say anything, because you're always behind the required run rate. So I'm expected to hit. The problem comes when it's 200, 220. They'll say, Arey, like we said about, Abhishek, 2 boundaries had come. Yeah. Why did he have to play that shot? Now, if you're choosing 200, 220, and let's say Bethell had got 40 and has it 3 boundaries, and he plays that shot, and you say, what was the need? You were making the game. But he was in a stage, he has full license to go after it. In that sense, it takes a little bit of pressure off. I think that kind of liberates you in terms of batting as well. Yes, we've got Ajib Agarkar.
Again, scroll down. Please, no nonsense of if Brook had taken the catch, if this and that, and what if had Hardik run a battle. We are in the final, cheer up.
Yeah, part and parcel of the game.
But it's our job to analyze.
Exactly. Yeah. Ajib, you are being Ajib now. You are living up to your name. A game has different aspects, and every aspect has to be spoken about. Yeah. We just can't be fanboys and, you, by the way, just to let you know, you don't get to see behind the scene. I can't tell you how much celebrations are happening in our office when India was, even a dot ball was being chaired. So there is a bit of fanboy in all of us, but you also have to, look at all aspects of the game. That's what you're supposed to do. And we are professionals. This is our job. So you have to look at it. You don't like it, that's fine.
You lost from the semi-final stage because of a couple of no balls in the past and catches being dropped.
And look at the Indian team.
You'll be on the right side of...
No. Indian team also today, they will celebrate, but tomorrow they'll sit back on the drawing board and look at areas where they are faltering, right?
Ashish Dhar says, Mitchell Singh
And can I tell you, that drop catch also had a role to play in how Sanju played after that.
Yeah.
As soon as, and we discussed it, as soon as that catch was dropped, there was a slower one, which he didn't go for it.
He played it down the ground.
So that is what you appreciate him for.
Yeah.
Ashish Dhar says, Mitchell Singh Dhoni can prove a spoiler in the final. Mitch Vittori.
That is true.
All the talk, New Zealand will...
But he's been also a bit off the mark.
With the ball, yes.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, as I said, Rachin Ravindra has been
the better or left arm.
But then again, law of averages. Chota Dan
could very well be that person.
Wears the spectacle also like him.
Let's not talk about Kiwi hurt, yaar.
Okay, Sarthak again, right?
Yeah.
He's saying from where I see it, Nixa is such a good boss manager. Acha. Yesterday, how you pointed out some guy who was playing Holi in the evening. He was strict but so cool about it.
Saraj.
I can't be. What? I have no other option also. Not that he's going to change or suddenly. Today also, I am going for the show at entering the studio.
10:40 or yeah.
No. That time in the evening. 6.
So the preview.
6:20 or something. 6:20. Sitting in the canteen and I was like 10 minutes for the show to go. If I was the producer or the anchor, I'm worried I should be in the PCR. Sitting having chai, coffee in the thing. And I looked at my watch. I'm walking. Is it really 6:20? Like, chatting away with his special friends. Like, wow, yaar, I wish I was as cool and calm. So, in fact, I was going in the studio and Geeta met me and she's like, and she started talking. She said, no, time ho raha hai, he's in a rush, let him go. She told other Gaurav and all that. No, let him go. I said, and then when I saw him, I said, no, must be a lot of time left because my producer is here only having chai, pakoda. So must be enough time. Yes, Siddharth.
Siddharth
Please, Siddharth wanted to say. Sorry, Siddharth. Go.
Just now, the Indian cricket team bus has just passed by. Just now. They have left the Wankhede lights are shut. The Indian cricket team bus just went by now. And fans are just going after the bus at this point in time.
So why you're telling us that why? Because you want us to say, ab to team bhi chali gayi hai bus, let me also go.
No, that's the thing. That now they just went by.
That's why I say the light is also banned.
No. The traffic is once again increasing because they had to ensure.
Okay, another excuse. The traffic is increasing. How will I go? No, you stay put with us.
What's the
Of course.
talk about happiness meter
Until the end.
Shore meter.
We talk about shore meter and all. Maybe you have a happiness meter today. Wish we had it. Would have wanted to know how happy have you been being there for the last couple of days now?
See, I am incredibly happy with whatever has happened. I've seen now 2 of the most impactful T20 matches that I've ever seen on the field. If I thought Nidahas was thrilling 8 years ago, this is the best match that I've seen in a very long time.
Nidahas, no chance.
Low scoring thriller.
No, I still that
And
Nidahas.
5 runs off the last ball.
Cliffhangers, both were cliffhangers.
No, but then you imagine Bangladesh were kind of on top for most of it. The last 2 overs only changed. Here, you didn't know whether England was going to do the unthinkable until over number 18. They were ahead of the game, England, most of the time. And 1 over, it was 7 runs. The other over was 20 runs. 1 over was like that. The other over was like that. England were continuously testing India's nerves. And that is why I will go as far as say this is on par with Nidahas.
I'm putting Nidahas ahead.
Any day,
No, this was an absolute
No chance.
shirt front of a track where everyone was swinging their bat and scoring runs. So
He's getting a bit carried away because he's.
I understand being there live is always a
being
different
there.
experience.
Yeah. Also recency.
Recency.
Okay, Greg Chappell is here.
Chappal.
Abhi pulling off Virat of T20 World Cup 2024 to win us the cup. Ooh.
Virat, lean patch until the final.
It is happening. It is happening.
You also think, huh, Siddharth?
Very interesting.
Yes.
Okay.
Ashish Dar says India's fielding saved them the blushes. Hardik's run out of Bethell and Axar were standouts. Varun's confidence is nosedived more. Kuldeep must play ahead of him.
I'm kind of
Veering towards that.
Yeah, I am.
Big call you'll have to
It
take
is a big
on
call.
Abhishek.
I agree.
And now on Varun as well. But again, I don't know if you can, take the call on one and not on the other. Again, you've been more.
No, see, your batting. No, your batting is not troublesome. No,
But you tend to be kind to batters at times. Then
you are. Plus, what is happening is that because you've been notching up big totals, it sometimes goes under the radar. Bowling now is going to come under scrutiny because you're leaking runs.
And because you're now only bowling 5 bowlers, more often than
That's
not.
why. So that is the thing.
I love mutton biryani says, come on, Bumrah, what a legend. In final, be fearless like today. Don't know about Abhishek, but Kuldeep has to replace Varun, lacks confidence.
That's what I'm saying. That is exactly on cue to what we were talking. Because the batters are covering up, in that sense. You're getting good runs. And then you have the hope with a batter that, it can be his day. The bowler, you tend to see trends rather than one-off day.
Just in this case, it's not one off day. Mr. Daniel says, great to see KL Rahul in the stands today. He watched it live why he's no longer required in T20 eyes.
yeah.
And even I'm not that mean. Come on.
Yeah.
Bumrah is greater than Wasim Akram and Glenn McGrath, period. Well,
See again, he's a product of his times. They were the product of their times.
Yeah.
See again, the kind of cricket that was played at that time. Again, there was not too much T20 cricket, so you can't compare it. Test matches, yes, Bumrah's had great impact there as well. But so did McGrath and Wasim Akram. And then I think both Wasim and McGrath's ODI records, I don't think Bumrah comes even close to what they had achieved. McGrath was like man of the tournament. That 2007 World Cup they won, he was the man of the tournament. So, I mean, again, these are some big names. But sure, I completely agree. He'll go down in history as one of the finest fast bowlers. But I think the best time to really judge him will be once he's done.
Yeah.
Okay.
Praneeth Datta says, my man of the match is Harry Brook. Thanks, Brook.
Of course.
Yeah.
The drop.
Of course.
Yeah, see that's in good humor. That's what he's pointing out. That's what we refer to. But Ajib Agarkar is
Being Ajib.
Big Ajib.
Ashish
Ashish
Dar.
says, JB's birthday, as in
National
Jasprit Bumrah,
treasure
not
day.
Josh Butler. National treasure day. I agree.
Yeah. In fact, I had said because it just treasure. That time I had put a tweet out as soon as Axar Patel took that catch. I said, let India's fielding medal tradition be named as the Axar Patel Award for Excellence henceforth.
Yeah.
Every fielding medal should be the Axar Patel Award goes to.
And Jaddu will be like, मैंने क्या बिगाड़ा था?
No. He's not in T20s. No.
Yeah, but in his honor.
You can.
You could.
Jaddu is also no. That way, though, there are many great fielders
Yeah.
that India has had, from Azharuddin to Yuvraj Singh to Mohammad Kaif,
Yeah.
Suresh Raina. There have
Yes.
been a lot of good fielders, but now what Axar in pulling
Different
off,
gravy.
Incredible.
Animesh Dudeja says, can we please stop talking about IPL and T20 World Cup? Hey, don't blame
Why?
us. The broadcasters are promoting it.
No, but what's wrong? I mean,
I mean,
it's a-
they're
There is
linked.
context there.
Yeah, they're
Why
linked.
you-
you know,
3 weeks.
I'm sure he knows that I'm not a big IPL fan, for those of you who follow. But if there are references like CSK, like RCB, like KKR with
And in
Phil Anil
3
and Tim
weeks time, you'll
Seifert.
all be feasting on it for
Yeah,
2
yeah.
long months. So might as well just accept it. You're getting to see matches, what the pitches are going to look like.
Do you know yesterday Finn Allen put up a post on social media after the match and he literally just said, thanks Kolkata. Tell me he's not already angling for an IPL this thing. He's part of the franchise. He's gone and scored a memorable knock. He knows what he's doing. So we can't blame us here.
Same sport, same format.
Yeah.
How can you not?
This is
draw
not like
parallels?
ODI cricket or World Test Championship. No? It's a T20 World Cup.
And of course, it's around the corner. So
3 weeks.
Ashish Chandelier just sends you some love. Naveen Narayan says Sky and Abhi should be thrown out after World Cup for Jaiswal. Oh my God, he's a bit harsh.
Hashtag justice for Jaiswal.
No one lost the World Cup yet.
Mr. Ticolo is here. He says, Nick sir, asking in the end who was right, Sunny sir prediction or win predictor. By the way, win predictor is not AI based. It's based on historical probability. I know, Steve Ticolo. We're talking about systems and algorithms taking over. Nah, AI is what algorithms. Nah, whatever you feed in it. So my point is, I'm not worried about tech. Tech is still not reached human intelligence level. That was my point. Of course, I know how win predictors are done. I was part of one setup where we worked on how to get to the win predictor. By the way, before the websites have it, I must tell you that as well.
Kunal W2678 says, Bumrah 500 wickets, Nikhil sir.
I agree.
What an achievement.
500 across formats is actually crazy.
Yeah,
If it can happen, yeah.
yeah. If he can stay injury free
Injury free.
and have the rest of his career, whatever 5-6 good years left in front of him, if he can have them injury free, he'll end up with a record that many a bowlers would be envious of. And then, you know, those comparisons can be made really once the career is done. And of course, he'll be mentioned in the same breath as those bowlers that you mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Steve Ticklow says, just another day of Sky playing against a big team in a World Cup and
He's
failing.
been bringing this about every
again and again.
live chat. Huh?
And some people in panel were ready to label. No, I'd still say the kind of batting he had, you sorely needed. Just you're kicking a man when he's down now. That's what it is.
See, all of this will be forgotten if he is the captain holding the World Cup, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, repeat history, defeat history, everything that's being talked about. Yeah.
Yeah. Vinu from Canada has just sent us love. No
Lots of love
questions.
today.
But thank you very much for that.
Harish Madhisetti says, Mitchell has thrashed Kuldeep in the past. Varun will play.
Yeah, I was just thinking about it. That it's not that Kuldeep hasn't had bad days. So
He's been low on confidence as well, let's not
so
forget.
it's not that an easy call to make, but I just went about with the eye test sort of a thing. Varun right now,
Oh, Rakesh Bhushan, I like the question he's
Naughty,
asking.
naughty boy.
Siddharth, we need you to answer this one. Rakesh Bhushan is asking, who will you be supporting in the final? Don't make faces, we know about your allegiance.
India.
Arey, but what
India.
about the Kiwis then? And your
That was the one team that I didn't pick. Now I'm now sticking with India and see they start as the favorites. Honestly,
yeah, whole year you tell us about the chess they play, the badminton they play, the rugby they play, so much that you follow from the anthem to their social media campaigns to the middle names of their of the players to the names of their children to their cap numbers. You know everything.
but I still say India will win.
No, who are you supporting?
the
That's you're analyzing.
See, I mean, there is nobody on this planet who will hate New Zealand. Okay, they are a gentlemanly team. They are the nicest guys on the planet, and so even if New Zealand win, I will not shed tears of despair or something in that. I'll be very happy for them. But I am saying from an analytic point of view, India.
No,
I'm not asking you analytic. Who
What
are you
is the dil
supporting?
ki awaaz?
India.
Pakka.
India.
This is like asking what's your name and he's saying I come from Mumbai.
No, he said
no,
he
you
didn't.
see,
See, to be fair to
India.
him, he didn't even pick them to make it outside
semis,
of their first group only.
If I now do that, I would say that no.
He doesn't want to
As
do
I
what
said,
he did
that
with
was-
RCB in the IPL. Nah. First gave them 2 points and then picked them to be playoffs. Now he's been consistent. He didn't pick New Zealand to make it through, and now he's not going to back them. Fair enough.
Vinu Manu is now finally sending a comment saying someone from Kerala has been part of an Indian squad only 5 times. You had Sunil Walson in 1983,
Yes.
Srishant in 2007 and 11, and Sanju Samson in 2024 and 2026. India won all of those tournaments. That's a very
Yes,
interesting.
they did.
It was
Yes, they did.
Walson from the 83 batch, right? Who was part of the squad but didn't play a single
Yeah,
game.
only member.
And Samson was the same
In
in
24.
2024.
Srishant could have been that member in 2011, but he played the final.
Final.
One player from Punjab in all this. 83 years.
Yeah.
Then where?
11.
7 years.
2011?
7. Yes.
7-11 Yuvraj.
11
Yeah.
Yuvraj.
24.
Arshdeep.
Actually, yeah.
That way, good
Yeah.
point. Those players from
25
Punjab also
Gill.
are.
Yeah.
Huh?
25 Gill.
26 will have Abhishek also.
26 possibly Abhishek.
Yeah, player from Punjab has also been there. Good point, Shivam.
Very good point.
Even from Delhi.
Actually, yes.
How start? Viru.
83.
Yeah. Viru, Gautam, 7 and 11. 83. No, not Kapil Dev. I'll count.
Madan sir.
Madan Lal.
No, Madan sir was also Amritsar, Punjab, but he played for Delhi as well. But there was Yashpal. They stayed in Delhi, but they played for Punjab. They've played for other teams. But Kirti Azad is there, so Delhi.
Kirti
is
Azad,
there.
Delhi.
Yeah. So.
And all other ICC events, Virat.
Yeah. No. You had Viru. You had Gautam Gambhir. 7, 11. Yeah.
Nehra.
Ashish Nehra. Yeah. Delhi also is like that. So Mumbai also will be there. Sunil
Yeah,
Gavaskar,
Sunil
83,
Gavaskar,
and
83.
Vengsarkar,
7
and Balwinder
Rohit.
Sandhu, all from Mumbai.
7 Rohit.
7 is Rohit.
Yeah.
11 you had Sachin.
11 though.
Yeah.
You had the
Yeah.
city playing. Yeah.
24
And all it has
Rohit.
been
26 Rohit.
So like
26
this
now.
year, it's not just Kerala, it's everyone. But to the point that Vinu is making, because Kerala has only had few players.
Yeah, historically an
Ah.
underrepresented
So like
state in
Delhi
cricket.
and Bombay and Punjab has had
They'll
many
always be
players.
players.
They're power hubs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ashish Dhar says, Sidvi to avoid traffic, take 1:40 ka local.
For which you have
About an
1
hour.
hour and
Ek
2 minutes.
40 की last
I
local.
don't need.
1 hour and 2 minutes you
Yes.
have Siddharth.
Ashish Chandelier says Sanju scores another 50 in the final. Is he your player of the tournament? Good question. I was thinking about it.
Wow.
I think he becomes. If it is also the best knock by an Indian, like it has been in the last two.
Yes.
If he plays a match-winning knock in the final, he's your player of the tournament.
Absolutely.
I agree. I agree.
Could be.
Like Mohinder Amarnath from 83. He was man of the match, semis and final.
Yeah. Bottom line says, RNN6165 or 56 says, bottom line, teams have started reading Varun and Abhishek can't play the sweep shot. Your views in playing Siraj and Rinku? Siraj no, but Kuldeep Rinku maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think you need
I'll
another
stick with
pacer.
Rinku. I still feel you take an Abhishek out, add Rinku over there, your batting lineup just looks even better. You're not losing out on anything. You're only bound to gain with that top 8.
Yeah.
Karthik says Sanju versus Henry, Bumrah versus openers decides the final.
It's a good one, Karthik. But we'll do a in-depth preview to that final tomorrow. So yeah.
Steve Ticklow says just kicking a man when he's down now, quoting me, saying he's been down from 4 T20 World Cups and 1 ODI World Cup. You have questioned the skill and temperament sometimes versus big stage, big team. But yeah, I'm sorry, 21 I know wasn't a bad World Cup for everyone. 22 he was probably your best batter. 22, sad to say, he was your best batter. There's no two ways about it. So again, I don't understand where this thing comes from, that it's so easy to pile on him now. And I'm sorry, I'm standing by what I've said. Mr. Ticklow, you are kicking him when he's down. Now is the easy time to target him.
Why doesn't he come with the? I always wonder, Steve Ticklow, why don't you come with your actual name? Why not? Generally.
Rather than that pen name.
Vinu Manu again, he says the point was India has never lost a World Cup when a player from Kerala was.
Yes, and that's always a rarity because again, Kerala not that team which have been overly highly represented in the history.
Completely agree. Our final segment of the night, it's called Shivam Giri, where we look at all the memes to come out from the game. And let's start. Take about Jacob Bethell. Well tried.
Absolutely. I think this is a finest knock and losing cause I've seen in a while.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Siddharth, thank you. Shivam says we don't need you anymore. Bye.
Bye.
Take your. You don't have to take 40 ki last local. 12 ki you might be able to catch.
You still have 59 minutes to while away if you want to take the last one.
No, he's staying in Marine Drive. He just walked down there.
Yeah.
So he doesn't need to take anything. Bye. Take care.
Siddharth.
Go have
See you. Bye bye.
pizza at Pizza by the Bay.
Vada pav.
12:20. It's closed. Everything is shut.
Well,
Bombay
42
yaar,
actually.
could be open.
Bombay, he'll get street food and stuff like that, or he'll have to go to certain places where they're open late at night. Haji Ali and all, he can go there. He'll get.
Hajili, yeah, you can go there. Yeah.
Next meme, please.
Or he can go, this is Ramzan time, like Muhammad Ali Road and all. where
Yeah. It'll get
everything will be
iftar.
open.
A
He'll
lot
get
of people
food there.
here.
Yeah.
हाँ अभिषेक, आज मैं नहीं पापा बात करेंगे. and you can just imagine him being like this. Everyone's seen that photo, man. Come on.
योगराज सिंह फिर तो लाइन पे आ गया.
Yog Paji be like. Sanju is good at playing spin with the new ball. Abhishek is good at playing pace with the new ball. So one of them will always do well. And they'll face off Sky over there.
दिमाग.
Next. The artist, Sanju Samson.
Yeah. He took them to the cleaner.
Absolutely.
Jofra Archer, Sam Curran,
He
and Jamie Overton.
walloped Jofra so much, there's probably an old tweet about it.
Yeah, they will be 100%. Oh, what a bad day, or something like that. He would have said.
Got smacked today.
Got smacked today.
Sanju Samson's form in must-win matches, rising up like the Undertaker. Gong. Next.
Nice.
When Sanju misses another century.
Okay. This is
Shashi Tharoor.
Yeah, but what movie is this from? They superimposed it in some film.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure which movie. I don't know, but it's funny anyway. Tilak Verma be like, हमने टॉप ऑर्डर जरूर छोड़ा है, रन बनाने नहीं बोले. Good point.
That is true.
But he's been better low down the order somehow.
yeah.
Again, the same thing, I was saying, initially the problem was, it's not that he can't play strokes. I think he was caught in that situation whether I need to be the accumulator or the aggressor. When he was batting there, and India were losing their wickets early, So he was trying to consolidate and then sacrificing his natural game. And now when he comes out to bat, he knows it's only one gear. So he goes for it and he has all the shots then.
Yeah, Tilak is a fantastically easy player on the eye. He's got all the shots in the book. Which is why I always say, I don't know how it is people questioned him, but I think he was stuck between doing what the team asked of him, vis-a-vis playing his natural game, which is a little bit more on the aggressive
that
side.
then comes with experience, really. To
Yeah, you can't
understand
just
what
you can't just tell the player be anchor.
Exactly.
That's not how it works.
Which was told to.
Yeah. Bapu Akshar Patel against England.
व्यक्तिगत
दुश्मनी है बदला तो लेंगे. This meme of him with the superimposed face will never not be funny.
Bapu. Yeah.
Pak gone, South Africa gone, England gone, India in final.
Best day since 15.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very historical.
Yeah.
No, best day to win also, yeah.
Yeah.
Then we'll have our best day.
Fourth
ICC.
ICC final in 4 years. Oh, I remember this ad. Char. The Fevikwik.
Fevikwik.
Yeah. Fevikwik.
No, he says, Inge, naare.
Yeah.
And he keeps trying and he just puts. But I like how they superimpose the new
India
kit on
jersey.
him. India jersey, the Apollo jersey that they did. Very nicely done.
Entire India to Axar Patel at the moment.
Agreed.
Everyone wants to give him a kiss.
Exactly.
Rightly so.
गुजराती में बोला भी होगा कुछ.
110%.
Yeah.
Next. Turning point.
पता है हम मैच कहाँ जीते? Yeah. From MS Dhoni.
This is the scene where he.
That Yuvraj match, Punjab match that Bihar played. Yeah. That Jharkhand
But he says in that, पता है मैच कहाँ हारे?
Yeah.
And then he narrates where Yuvraj is coming out in the bike and they are all watching him. So that's the scene. But it's a very nice scene. I like how he goes, they go from where he went to play, but they don't show what happens in the tournament. He comes back, his friend comes to meet him, and then he tells him the flashback.
Yeah.
The narration. धागा खोल दिया. From there it be. मार के धागा खोल दिया.
फिर आया युवराज सिंह. पूरे टोटल से 2 रन ज्यादा.
That whole thing was
पूरे
very
टोटल से 2 रन ज्यादा. 300 something Yuvraj scores na at that point.
Yeah.
Jasprit Bumrah gave 6 runs in the 18th over. Doff your hat.
Yeah.
I agree.
18th over. Yeah.
Magic
18th
man.
and 19th both.
Yeah.
When the opponent is New Zealand, you're happy. But the venue is the Ahmedabad
You wanna
Stadium.
run away.
You're not happy.
No, this time.
Yeah.
Ending the jinx.
Jinx will be broken. It will be. Don't you worry. 2 types of farmers today at Wankhede, strawberry and aura. He's got strawberry. Organic strawberry he grows. And he's the aura farmer.
Of course he's an aura farmer.
Yeah. No look shot yaar to open his account.
He's doing the Khabi when taking a wicket in the 19th over. I'm sorry, that's the definition of aura farming.
Yeah.
What is that?
Khabi, there's that, I don't know if you remember during
that.
COVID, there was that silent guy, so someone was doing dumb stuff and he just be like...
Yeah. Isn't that how
That's
he
why Hardik got
celebrated
the... Yeah, that's how he celebrates with his trophies
with the
now.
trophy as well. Yeah.
It's the Khabi. India entering finals and the venues again.
Same thing. This is from
Om
that
Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Yeah.
What is the procedure to change the venue?
Seat. He says, what is the procedure to change the seat?
To change the room.
To the room. Because it's...
Munna bhai.
Munna
Share the room with Munna bhai. Hey Swami. रूम में सब कुछ अपना समझने का. Barring you know what.
Last match, Samson scored 97. This match, India won by 7 runs. Dhoni and Gambhir, 1 crore tera, 1 mera.
I told you, Thala for a reason. He was there.
Anji, next.
संजू सैमसन फैंस राइट नाउ. अब हम वो पुराने जस्टिस गैंग नहीं रहे. हमको चाहिए फुल इज्जत. ये फ्रॉम मिर्जापुर. गुड्डू भैया. Yeah.
मोहम्मद आमिर when India reaches the final, जो मैं बोलता हूँ वो definitely नहीं होता है.
Yeah. Before he starts gloating in the fact that he called Abhishek Sharma a slogger.
That's okay. Broken clock is also right twice a day.
But his every prediction about India he's gotten wrong.
Horribly wrong.
Now he'll try his hoping for to be 5th time, 6th time lucky. He'll
The
say
charm.
they won't win the final.
Yeah.
Mystery spinner.
Arey, this is so unfair. So unfair. 2 years people tend to forget.
Yeah.
I know he's in bad form and I still say drop him for the final. But let's not be rude.
Yeah.
But this is Shivam Giri segment. You have to take it with a pinch of salt.
salt.
Yeah. These jokes are not really literally
Yeah.
a reflection of who the player is.
Oh wait, what's this one? Lower the cursor, please. A cricket match in Wankhede is like Om Shanti Om cricket version.
That's true. Actually, look at the celebrity turnout today, yaar.
Because Om Shanti Om, everyone made a guest appearance.
Yeah, there's that one song.
Yeah.
It was, I mean, again, Bombay, all celebrities. And I think it was added by the fact that Arjun Tendulkar's wedding was there. So
on-
everyone had
Correct.
come. Not today, what? Yesterday.
Yesterday, yeah.
Today.
This morning.
Yes.
Didn't he get married yesterday?
Yeah, please, someone give him a glass of water or give him something.
Day wedding it was. Acha.
But he,
Okay.
that's why I'm saying he's half asleep all that. We've ran a package today.
That can happen late always.
No, in news, nahi. News does things the way news does, not like us. That today the thing has happened, today we will write, tomorrow somebody will edit, day after we will run it. News is run on the day when it happens.
Yeah.
So it happened today.
Same Ishan, same. While she's saluting JB.
Oh, this is from the game?
Yeah.
Good one. Good picture. Absolutely. He knows the value of the man.
Comes to bowl, takes wickets out of nowhere, doesn't concede unnecessary run, builds pressure on opponents, bowls 6 Yorkers in the slot, leaves and repeats in
Yeah,
next match.
I agree.
Chad Bumrah.
I agree.
Well on Chad Bumrah.
In the
I
words
agree.
of the man who was there at the ground, MS Dhoni,
Yeah.
nothing more to add.
Abhishek in Sharma in bilateral and league matches, he's doing karate. Abhishek in the T20 World Cup. Arey yaar.
Yeah, I must say there are so many creative people. On the
Mad.
internet.
England,
There you.
Yeah. England took 7 wickets, India took 7 wickets, India
I
won by
told
7
you.
runs.
Oh, I didn't know the wickets, but
The
the
wickets part
winning
also I
margin
didn't
I
know.
saw,
Yeah.
and I was like, Thala for a reason.
Done? Oh.
Okay, have we got a few more questions? Yes, Naveen Narayan says Tamil Nadu is also there. Chika, DK, Ashwin, now Varun.
Okay.
That is true. But Chika, yes, 83. DK in 2007?
Yeah, I think he was part of the squad.
Was he?
I'm not sure. Let me check.
Yeah. Ashwin, yes, 11. And now Varun is
Yeah.
no
Not Ashwin.
25. Sorry, 24.
24.
No, I don't think.
Kuldeep was there.
DK.
Yeah, DK was there in 2007.
He didn't play any.
backup.
Yeah. Okay, Steve Ticola says, Nick, sir, is Ahmedabad hosting future final? Depends on the result on Sunday. Considering how superstitious current management, you never know their thoughts. Maybe Steve could be right. Maybe going forward, you don't know. I think it'll all depend on that. Because I think now I see a lot of, not just memes, but general comments about why is it that Ahmedabad is getting all the big games. You can rotate it. There's no harm. Of course, Ahmedabad should also get. It's the biggest stadium.
But there are a lot of historical legacy grounds that just get ignored.
It's only fair you rotate it somehow. And you're right.
Yeah, the 2023. Yeah,
If you're
once-
superstitious about a lunar
Eclipse.
eclipse and not do practice, surely can be about a ground.
Absolutely.
The result doesn't go your way. Anyway. Okay, on that note, we'll take your leave. This feed's been live for 2 hours. I, though, have been here for about hour and a half. But these guys were there about good half an hour, 40 minutes even before that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, thank you very much for your company. Plenty more things to come. It's not the end of the night. I'll do my match report. That'll be up. We'll do the press conferences, what has been said. So, Still plenty to come on Sports Today. You can check that out. Why do you need to sleep so early? Still celebrate India's win. But of course, tomorrow we'll be live with more content, and of course our live dugout as always, 6:30 p.m. So look forward to your company then. For the moment, let's enjoy. Before we start getting serious about what to do in the final, for the moment, let's savor this particular win. Enjoy.
Until then, Nandri it is. Shubhratri,
Shabba
Shabba Khair. Eat your vegetables.
Don't trouble your mother and subscribe to Sports Today.